Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
We here at Blizzard thought this Big Think Dimension, we're going to test out 4 hosts.
So what's different?
Chris Wolfhart.
Something coconut tree.
And Dr. Aggro.
United we bargain, divided they keep fucking up our games.
Here on GigaBoots.
Gentlemen, I come to you from the future.
Sick.
I got a 4K monitor that's 240 hertz. Do you even know what that feels like? It's like every power trip in a superhero film when I play a game. Like every time.
Like you see Dan standing in the middle of his dark garage, cradling his lit monitor. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Yeah, I turned on the 480 hertz mode, which is 1080p max, and I did have an inhibitor chip moment where I was like, the inhibitor chip damaged. So here's the deal. I want to do a more detailed video on it, but I figured you, the people who helped us buy this monitor by not letting Timer-chan, your name, not mine, I did not give her a spirit and a body. That was you, chat. I did not want to endow the number in the corner of the screen with a living soul. But you all did that. Anyways, because you wouldn't let her die. That was one of the goals we hit this last month. So I feel like you should all know. You have never in your life known someone as picky, as critical of pixels on a screen, frame rates, and everything as me. You literally cannot find one human more on the spectrum for that than me. And I am here to tell you something very exciting. There is virtually no point to 480 hertz.
Yeah, that's about what I expected.
So
yeah.
Here's how it goes, okay? 60 to 120. Ooh, 120 to 240. That actually looks really smooth. And at 240, I feel like you have the full illusion of movement. Like it is, these aren't frames you're seeing. This is a thing moving, right? Mm-hmm. And this is, of course, speaking in the context of OLEDs. 240 to 480 does not look smoother. It lets you see more detail on the moving object because the motion resolution goes up. And while you would think it would be like, doesn't that look fucking nuts? I can notice it. I can notice it. If you put it up side by side every time, I can tell you which one it is. Mm-hmm. However, imagine you're playing a 3D video game, a type of video game that benefits more from higher frame rates, as it turns out, because 2D benefits from motion resolution being high. But let me tell you, going from 240 to 480 on a like 30XX didn't really pop the way it did in some of the 3D games. Anyways, you can see the detail on the environment you're moving through a little crisper. It's like the texture resolution got upped the tiniest bit. I would say if you were to extrapolate out the sharpness increase of an object moving across your screen, it would be 30% at most. 20 to 30. Just imagine you did the slightest horizontal blur, like the tiniest. And that is the difference between your PC shitting its pants and bleeding to death doing 240 versus killing itself to attempt 480. So having said this...
Yeah, basically no video card on Earth other than the 4090 can do it.
And like, you were there. We booted so many games.
Yeah, even
how many of the games we tested that day couldn't even hit 480? Because it was like...
It's a much lower number of just not the ones that could.
It was like... What was it? It was Counter-Strike Source.
Uh-huh.
We didn't try 2. It was Overwatch.
Yeah, that feels like it.
30XX?
Because not even Spark could do it.
Spark the Electric... Oh, it was funny as shit. So we boot Spark the Electric Jester 3, which has an uncapped frame rate. For anyone who doesn't know, that thing can just go as high as your machine can. Which is why menus go 1,000 or 1,200 frames per second, and my GPU actually gets coil whine. We boot a Spark 2 level, it can hit 480. We boot a Spark 3 level, it can't break 300.
Yeah.
This is like my CPU and RAM may be holding this up. I'm using a 5950X, and my RAM is not great. It's terrible, actually, and it's something I'm looking forward to fixing later this year whenever the X3D CPUs come out that are the new AMD architecture. By the way, I didn't write it in my notes, but it is important. That AMD architecture CPU launches got delayed at the last second.
Oh.
They are literally getting them back from the system integrators. Something went wrong. What? This is happening simultaneously with Intel. Maybe oopsie whoopsie having produced 2 entire generations of CPUs with a major fucking problem. Once again, if you have Intel stock, sell now. Because they tried to bury this news for 3 or 5 months, and it is now coming out in full force. This isn't like the gamers are upset. This is their server CPUs that also have these problems. Intel is screwed.
Yeah, I guess AMD doesn't want to be in that situation, which good.
Yeah.
It's good they caught it before they shipped them.
Absolutely. So this monitor, one of the core appeals of it, one of the neat things it does is it has 480 hertz for the 1080p mode, and then you can hit a toggle in it, and now it's a 4K 240 hertz monitor. I am happy to say I am never hitting that button again. Yes, I can perceive it. No, it is not appreciated. You know how much it takes? You know what extreme end of a like this is a devil's advocate conversation, right? This is a well, what if you were a fourth the resolution, twice the frame rate? Like that's not how reality works, but it is with this monitor. Like, hey, you want to drop from 4K to 1080p just to run at twice the frame rate? And as it turns out, when you hit this end of all of these numbers, the answer for me, the guy who's most concerned with frame rate over everything else, is no. Like 480 is just don't matter. It don't matter. So how insane is it that the Blurbuster guy is influencing monitor manufacturers to make 1,000 hertz monitors and saying within the next decade, we're going to be able to do photorealistic Unreal Engine 5 games that will use frame generation to generate 9 frames for every one real one. So that way you only need your GPU to render 100 frames, and then the monitor will do the other 900.
Insane. The completely beyond rationale.
Yeah. I do not understand.
So we actually did
People
check
really
out.
like I
Go
keep
ahead.
talking about people who want to live in Star Trek.
Yeah.
People really are just willing to swallow any shit and say it's ice cream if they think it's getting them closer to having a spaceship.
Yeah.
Like they'll say and do anything. And that's really apparent with this AI shit where, you know, most people think AI guys are all con artists, and I don't really think that's true. They just want a button that makes an entire movie for them instantly and are too stupid to understand that will never happen. Ever. And not ever.
So, I know what you're thinking, Alex Battaglia, who's secretly listening. I'm kidding. I have no evidence that Alex Battaglia listens to this. However, let's say there is someone who likes frame gen listening. Let's entertain this, because I can guess 2 people might.
You never know.
Out of our viewers, there are 2 I might guess. So we tried frame generation to get more games to run at 480 hertz. Luckily, we had a little game called Bright Memory Infinite. Oh my god! Which my computer can run at locked well above 240 hertz and 1080p, and then I could use frame gen to make that a 480 hertz. Okay, so here's an idea, right? Close your eyes and imagine with me. You're holding a military grade gun, and it's a red dot sight, and you're looking down it, And the input I'm doing on the controller is a circle with the right analog stick. So you imagine you're moving the gun in a circle. The red dot is going in a circle. Frame Gen keeps that from making an actual circle in front of you and keeps future projecting the red dot going outside of the circle, so it will always be a cut diagonally. It will never make a circle. It will always just project incorrectly at all times. It's a shit technology. It doesn't even work well at 240 hertz being frame gen up to 480 with only one fake frame every other frame, let alone 9.
Yeah, it's like we just talked about how you could not really very well tell the difference between 240 and 480. So you could think maybe that would hide the frame gen things. Like, oh, there's so much data here, but no,
that's not how.
It's just not how it works.
That's not how it looks when half of the time you look at the screen, it's showing the wrong shit. No matter how many time slices of time you cut that into, it still means half of the shit you are seeing is fake and wrong looking. So you can barely notice the increase to 480 hertz when it comes to motion resolution. On top of that, you have to introduce shitloads of imaging errors nonstop in order to frame gen up there. There's no use case for frame gen. It simply only performs well in one regard, and it's juicing AMD and NVIDIA's performance charts. There is no other reason this
really
technology ever existed. It is
so
really good at that. Because all you have to write at the bottom...
I'm honestly waiting for them to get sued.
They should get sued. They should.
Like, it's going to happen.
In a just world... But
like some lawyer or yuppie is going to buy one of these really expensive cards and be like, this looks like shit. What the fuck are they talking about? And then take them to court, and then it will be over.
If only I came from money and had some like good lawyer relatives, because that would work.
Right.
I could get it done. I could prep the material in order to take it down. And
honestly, I don't know if people are doing this, but every time they put out a chart, I just file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. Like, hey, this is obviously deceptive. Look at it.
So for anyone who doesn't know what frame gen is, it's just the soap opera mode on your TV. It's 60 hertz. It's 60 frames per second anime. It's where you take two real frames and you guess what the middle ones would be. But
except
for
they
a
don't
video
have the
game.
second frame. Except they don't have the second frame.
No, they delay
so
long enough to get the
than
second
that.
frame. They add input latency.
Great. So it adds latency.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's okay
Frames
because
win games.
There
but
are other
fake ones,
technology that removes latency, overcompensates barely, if enough, but a little.
How about I just have the lower latency and not the added additional latency from this fake bad technology?
That's what I keep saying, and yet somehow that doesn't come across. So yeah, frame gen sucks. There's no frame rate at which it looks correct. Our gun still had auras projecting around it. The ocean still looked wrong as hell. Branches and shit were complicated and messy. It literally had this effect of me looking at the screen. I started to get a little bit, what's the term? There's got to be a perfect word to describe the emotional state of you are parsing what you're seeing, and it is taking more work to parse it than it should. Just because you have so much erroneous data and information being piped into your fucking eyeballs. It's like, this should be simple to look at, but like everything moves so wrong that
that was what my immediate thought of how this would go is. It's like, okay, you can't consciously discern frames at that frame rate, but surely your brain can detect all these mistakes, and it feels like it would just give somebody a headache.
Yeah, I'm sure it's someone somewhere will get nauseated by this. I mean, we even like running more intense games at lower frame rates and frame genning to like 120 or 80 or whatever had that problem with fucking Spider-Man.
I mean, like, that sounds like some shit I want to take a time machine back and explain to Lovecraft. He would love it. I mean, really, like you're looking at an
who
image.
is not black.
No problem.
I trust you, future Ginger.
Just you're looking at an image and you can't point it out, but there's just something indiscernibly wrong.
This is my cat. Don't say his name.
This is my cat. You want to know his name? Agar's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good, man.
You know what? I'm bringing this cat with me.
Hey, where'd you get that cat? Sweats.
Oh no, the time machine. I'm still in Boston. The space function turned off.
Anyway,
Let me
yeah.
get a strawberry frosted.
That's the I like to think a part of why we do the things we do, especially when we did more input latency research and other things, is so that way we can tell you definitively exactly what the deal is. And I'm really happy to have done that with 480 hertz. Like, don't prioritize these higher frame rates. Do get an OLED. Like, it's not complicated. The OLED looks better across all content. The only thing you're potentially missing out on is better HDR, which if you're on Windows 10, you're fucked anyways.
Yeah, every game that booted in HDR, we just couldn't play.
Oh God, I didn't even want to talk about it, but there are so many problems because of Windows 10's HDR. Devil May Cry 5 is forcing HDR, no way to turn it off, and because it's HDR now, it has to nerf the frame rate because there's not enough bandwidth to do 4K 240 hertz HDR. It's now 120 frames per second. HDR looks broken and horrible, and I'm like, I hate this. I hate this so much. Everyone's like, why didn't you turn off the HDR in Windows? I did. Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible fucking gaming machine, Windows 10.
Even like it would boot half of the screen in HDR and half in not HDR, and neither would look right.
Oh yeah, for some reason, like the screen would, like, imagine if you know what a LUT is, if you know what a LUT lookup table is. Imagine the left half is like adjusted with one of those, and the right half is the greatest fucking image you've ever seen. That happened multiple times, all throughout the day, different games. Anyways, but yeah, 4K 240 hertz looks really great. I don't regret this monitor because not many monitors, in fact, this may be the only one that is 4K 240 hertz and normal LG style OLED.
Right.
QD OLED from Samsung, there are options there, including absurd, like take 1440p and put two of those side by side to get an ultra wide. You can do that. The thing is, QD OLEDs look worse because of the subpixel arrangement and how Windows deals with that. How its clear type technology or whatever expects the LCD subpixel arrangement. It looks worse on QD OLED because of that. And when you scale up to 4K, WRGB OLED looks fine in that way. Like, you know how picky I am. You've known me for a very long time. No problems. This all looks great. There is at no point that I'm like, there's some color fringing at the bottom of the letter G. I'm going to kill myself.
He would do it too, guys.
It's true. We're trying to scare our audience. Dan needs nice things or he will end it. We should have called the last wave that. Anyway, so I'm really glad to have done that. There literally is no additional smoothness that comes from 480 hertz. It is just a little bit more clarity. It is so minor, it would never, anytime soon, be worth the horsepower necessary for you to justify running your games at 480 hertz on even 10% of video games. You know, we even took games that were like pioneers of Olive Town, story seasons, and ran it at 240 and then ran it again at 480. And I'm like, yo, it looks the same, basically. It basically looks the same, except for one of these is way lower res. Why would I do this to myself? If you've spent any amount of time in the GigaBoots fan Discord, especially in Tech Talk, you know how I am about this stuff. I hate it when people go, you can't even tell the difference with 8K. I'm like, have you seen 8K? Have you seen 8K content on an 8K TV? You haven't? Then shut the fuck up. You don't know. You don't know. Chat, I'm here to tell you, 480 hertz is borderline a scam.
I always think of that chart that's like, you need an 800-inch television to sit 3 feet away to tell 4K. And I'm like, no, you fucking don't. I can tell 4K versus 1080p from space.
That fucking chart and its companion piece, the Xbox One launch coverage done by Ryan McCaffrey, the Xbox podcast at IGN, because the Xbox could only do 720p. And according to them, you can't tell the difference. You literally can't. You need a 50-inch TV to tell the difference between 720p and 1080p.
I think I'd have a harder time telling the difference between 720p and 1080 and 1080 and 4K. I think I personally believe I would have a harder time with that. But I'd still be able
I'm trying to think the easiest way you could set this up, because there's got to be a way you could set this up. Like, you just need two consoles that can both run a game at different resolutions.
Yeah, the PS4 and the Xbox One with Tomb Raider 2013.
There you go. Yeah, and just swap them, do them back to back. I genuinely believe like 480 hertz is pretty useless. Here's my asterisk. You ready for my asterisk? It's the biggest, dumbest asterisk in the world.
Okay.
But it must be said because I'm future-proofing this podcast right here, right now. The difference between 240 and 480 will notionally be relevant if we ever get to the point, which I think we're heading there, of having a display technology with the inherent motion clarity of CRT again, right?
Oh.
So you need the motion clarity of CRT to see each frame so firmly that you then once more go, well, now I need more frames. That's it. So yeah, 240 looks real good. It looks much smoother than 120. As I said, it has the complete... If you can lock 240 smooth, it has the complete illusions of movement. This isn't you piecing together frames with your brain and then extrapolating like, oh, this thing's moving here. No, it's just cohesive entirely. The illusion is completely established at that point. And it only took 10 times the numbers of frames per second that people insist is all we could see. Ignore that when those people said that about cinema with 24 frames per second, they were, filming reality, and reality has motion blur. And video games have to fake that. But Dan, what about input delay at 480 frames per second? So great question. I'm glad you asked it. So here's the thing. I can notice 8 and 4 milliseconds of input lag. I don't think the difference is even that high going from 240 to 480. I think you have the larger problem of the game needs to run. Especially since, as I said, we got maybe 5 games all day to run at 480 at points. Because once again, Spark 3 did it in the Spark 2 level.
Right.
It didn't do it in the Spark 3 level. So yeah, 240 hertz is really cool. Yet again, I'm just going to have to say the core lesson I've learned again from all this, because worth noting, I was using a busted, pretty bad, like really bad looking LCD for it had a high refresh rate. It was like 144. And then I had a color calibrated Nightmare LCD that was 4K and had an unbelievable amount of problems, including burn-in. But it's important to have a color accurate thing to refer to. The number one thing I am experiencing with this upgrade, that is the big shit, that is the awesome thing, is just the fact it's an OLED. If you don't have an OLED, you do not realize how much of an impact that will have on the visual clarity of shit until you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, like I if you told me, okay, you can have a 4K LED or a 1080p OLED, I'd probably pick the OLED.
I would too.
Yeah.
Like, I actually, sincerely, when I saw how good OLEDs looked, I'm like, damn, it's a real shame we don't have 1080p like OLED monitors. Because I want OLED to be cheaper for more people to enjoy. And that was like 5 years ago that I had that thought.
And I feel like we're about at the end of TVs getting cheaper, because the only reason they're so cheap now is because they sell all your fucking data because they have all their smart TVs now.
And that's why the PC monitor market started freaking out, because they had to start competing with people who got to sell data in order to get money.
Yeah.
And the way they're competing now is by doing the ultra high refresh rate and other sorts of gimmicks. I've seen the Blur Busters motion charts because the only other thing you should consider in this aspect is NVIDIA invented a technology, I covered it months ago on the podcast, called Ultra Low Motion Blur 2, where basically the LCD changes the pixels on the screen and then flashbangs the entire backlight. So it's kind of like how CRTs work. So it does that at 540 frames per second, some of these high-end ones. Motion clarity is great. Here's the problem. It has imaging problems that LCDs have. It has undershoot and overshoot, so you can see a trail ahead where it hasn't fully transitioned and a trail behind where it is over transitioned. Or reverse that. And it doesn't have the sharpness of OLED. And on top of that, you now need to not only hit 480 hertz, you now need to hit 560 or 540 or whatever it is.
And you have to be solid, like rock solid in that, right?
Yes, that's what I was telling you the other day and what I was going to go into next. You have to lock that frame rate because unlike this OLED that has variable refresh rate, an amazing technology that syncs your monitor to the frame rate your game's actually running at, those strobing techniques are dependent on a constant regular interval. So what that means is your machine, which is a machine crafted by humans up until this point in human history, so not going to do it, needs to lock 540 frames per second or every lost frame will feel like a stuttery sucker punch. So yeah, don't. Just get a nice OLED. Just get something with variable refresh rate that's at most 240 hertz. And obviously, I know not everyone can do this. This isn't about, hey, everyone, go out and buy a really expensive OLED. This is about, hey, people who are into PC gaming.
Who are already going to spend a lot of money on a new monitor.
Who are interested in upgrading their monitors, because I do agree with, I think it's Hardware Unboxed side channel, which I believe was their main channel, which was originally just monitor focused. I agree with them. Right now, the GPU market sucks so much, just buy a monitor instead. The value will age better. And image technology being so much better now will have an impact on games you already play.
Right.
That's literally what I'm experiencing. That's what I was just saying. Like I went from those two LCDs. One of them looked nice, terrible for gaming in 60 hertz and had burn-in. The other one, terrible colors, no real sharpness to it because it was LCD. I upgraded to this OLED and it looks fucking incredible. There you go. There's your PSA, your tech PSA. For the love of God, do not listen to these crazies telling you we need 1,000 frames per second on your monitor, and that's the only way it'll work out. They simply just do not understand reality, and they don't need to be ashamed of it. You don't need to be ashamed if you thought 1,000 frames per second was the solution, because even John Carmack was fucking wrong about that. Infamously, John Carmack was having an argument with a Valve engineer where he's like, no, we got to get the frame rate really high. And the Valve engineer's like, no, we just need a low persistence display where it blanks the screen so the human eye has enough time to absorb what they saw. And then they go and they show him the comparison and John Carmack's like, well, shit. So our solution going forward isn't these insane frame rates. Our solution is to invent some way to get OLED and OLED-like technologies like QD OLED or whatever to do CRT-like motion clarity. It's not 1,000 frames per second, guys. What the fuck?
Oh, it'll be different this time.
No. Bob, that was a great opening tech segment. Let's talk about all the games.
Now that everyone's left.
We played last Friday.
Jesus.
So last Friday, we played Mighty Number 9 on the PS3. It has screen tearing. It runs at like 20 frames per second. It's blurry as hell. It's pixelated as hell. It's horrible. It's miserable. It looks like ass. It has so many problems.
Yeah. Yes. Don't play that version. Don't play Mighty Number 9 in general.
No. We're just running away with your first statement. It's only $3 on Steam right now. Only $3.
You need to know. Everybody should know if they like 2D platformers. And we need as many people as possible to play it so we can fight against the revisionists who are trying to argue that game's actually fine.
No. I don't care if that game's actually fun. That game is a net negative to humanity. That whole sordid story was awful. And if that game was fun, that game can still go fuck itself.
So after that, we played Mighty Number 9 on PS4 on the PS5. It ran a little bit smoother. It was a little bit better. Noticed I could look at things on the screen and not just be sad. Yeah, times. Then we played we opened on PC.
We did.
Which was a great showcase of how much I fucking hate my gamer laptop. Because allegedly that thing has a 2070 in it. and it could not lock a simple 60 frames per second, a mighty number 9.
Yeah, it was rough.
I hate fucking laptops, man.
Mm-hmm.
I hate them so much. Hilariously, that laptop, I believe, is a 4K OLED.
Like, could you ever push that?
Right? Like, what are you even doing that could fill that many pixels at 60 frames per second?
Right. With a 2070 asterisk.
Yes. Here's the fun thing about the 2000 series, the first revisions. Those GPUs were so bad, the laptop versions are notionally identical to the desktop versions, which was really weird and hasn't happened since.
Oh, wow.
There's a reason they had a super revision of the entire 2000 lineup, and it's because they sucked. I'm sure in reality, though, much lower voltages at various aspects of the GPU mean in reality it performs worse, but on paper, identical. Yeah, I don't know why it runs so bad. That thing's cursed. Fuck that motherfucking thing. Anyways, then we moved to PS3, then we moved to PS4, then we moved to Xbox 360. Doesn't have the screen tearing the PS3 version had.
Yeah,
that's nice. I bet there's someone listening right now who doesn't realize that this mighty number 9 every version asterisk marathon was the final goal on the last wave of the Donathon.
Right, because we didn't tell them until we hit it.
Right. Well, I mean, right now, because we didn't tell them right now. You know, and maybe they didn't listen far enough in that. All anyone knows is they love that number. If that number disappears, they're going to pick up smoking as a habit. They're going to become Tom Cruise in Minority Report, looking at VODs of the timer. If the timer disappears, that's what they realized.
Well, especially now that it's Timer Chan, it was given a soul and identity.
I know.
Like, it's never going away now. You better start planning for what you're going to do for its first birthday.
The first birthday. So you call it that. You call it the first birthday with that specific phrasing, and that just, you're feeding the cult at that point.
Yeah.
I was just doing it to be a parody of the third birthday. But instead, I feel like I'm feeding these cultists even more. They're like, yeah, the first. So many to come. Anyway. Yeah, then we did the Xbox One version running on a Series X. It was fine, but weirdly enough this time, I think the VRR was turned off, the variable refresh rate, because the frame rate didn't dip low enough to crash the capture card.
Right.
Or Xbox patched something and it no longer dips that low, because honestly, the frame rate didn't seem like it was dipping as low. Also,
mysteries.
Also, the world famous problem of the conveyor belt in the factory at the end loaded the texture correctly on every version that day for some reason. Infamously, it had the problem Unreal Engine 3 games have. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 had this problem, and I showed off in that review if you want to see how that looks. Where if it can't load a texture and an asset, it will put a rectilinear, with the camera's perspective, black box on the screen wherever it was. So famously, in this level in Mighty Number 9, the conveyor belt will just be a bunch of black boxes moving slowly through the background. And somehow every version of the game that day loaded, and I'm like, what is happening?
You just never know with Mighty Number 9. It's always got exciting mysteries.
Speaking of exciting mysteries, we're sitting there, we're playing the Wii U version, which, by the way, is the saddest version. It's not the worst looking because that's the PS3. It's the saddest one because when you beat a level, it needs to load the victory music and it will not let you hit buttons to go further into the stats screen. So you have to watch the number count up as it goes. 1 second, bro. In complete silence. And then it starts playing the do-do-do-do, exciting music, and you go, oh, thank God. Go, 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 go.
Yeah, I think all the loading in that version was worse than any other version.
It was.
Which was incredible.
It is.
Like, how do you do that?
The Wii U is the most 7th gen console somehow. Because its load times were fucking terrible. It is the worst possibly of any console ever.
Yeah, I don't see how there can be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, the PS3 could install games to the hard drive. Reminder, Mighty Number 9 was installed to the internal storage. So I don't know why it's loading that slow. It must be the world's worst flash memory. But in the middle of the Wii U version, people show up in chat. We start talking about, hey, why aren't you playing? Like, why is it only 6 versions? And I'm like, well, I couldn't get the Steam Deck to run that version. And then people go, well, it's working on my machine. And they start gathering. It's like the fucking Fahu Foray, Dahu Dore shit. We got a whole village of fucking Steam Deck owners being like, works on my machine. And I'm just like, this is a fucking nightmare. Okay, guys, I spent an hour yesterday trying to get it to work. But you know what I didn't do? A factory reset. So let's fucking do a factory reset. And then it worked.
The Steam Deck is great. You just have to factory reset it to play your newest game.
I don't know what's worse. It not working or a factory reset magically making it work? Both suck so much. That shouldn't be how a machine works ever. So we got to add a 7th playthrough to that stream, the Linux version via the Steam Deck. It was so much better than my gaming laptop, I got mad. So I guess, now that I've done the factory reset, Mighty Number 9 might not be the only game that will now work. Mm-hmm. This is what I get for receiving a product from a manufacturer and then using it.
Foolishness.
God knows the first thing I should have done was reset a fully functioning, quote, quote, product to factory reset defaults and then do it again. But there are other games that may work now that I've done this. That did not work in that first stream. So I look forward to our next Giving Steam Deck a Chance stream because we have proper video output now. Mm-hmm. And I did the factory reset, and Proton and other things have come a really long way since. So obviously, everything's going to turn around. I'm going to be holding the Steam Deck and going, this is how I win. This thing larger than a Game Gear.
Yeah, the thing that we kept mistaking for the Wii U gamepad because he also had that out.
Yeah, he kept doing it. It was really funny. I did it like once or twice, and it was really good. I should get them. We need to show this because people will hear that and be like, but they didn't. Like, it doesn't look that similar, does it?
That motherfucker's coming back with a Game Gear.
The Game Gear is a much more elegant device.
From a more civilized age.
Yes! God, it's... Every time we bring it out, I'm like, the Steam Deck isn't that hideous and hard to like handle and encumbering, is it? Yes, it is.
Okay, so... Right? Okay. Let me just... Now we're opening up. I got the case.
Yeah, you got the fancy version.
I got a Steam Deck at launch. People want to act like I bought this thing to hate it. I wanted to know. And
yeah, you just told them the same thing twice.
It's corporate wants you to tell us the difference between these two pictures.
Surely the Steam Deck has better build quality than the fucking Wii U gamepad.
Okay, so it's a double-edged sword because while yes, it also is weighted terribly, so it kind of feels worse than the hand because it's that much heavier in weird spots. Like, it's not distributed well. I'm sure the OLED's better about that.
Probably.
But I don't have an OLED. I have the original Steam Deck. Hey, there's chat. And my face. Okay, that's creepy. Anyway. It just basically looks like you went, do you want matte or glossy?
Right?
Yeah, there were a couple times where I got confused and I'm like, what? Why isn't the Steam Deck working? I was holding the gamepad for 1 second. I was like, oh my God, put it down, Dan.
Dan, you need to make a concrete list of every Wii U game you need to use for do for content. And then finally, when you complete it, you rent a minigun and take the Wii U out into the woods and just hit it with a wall of lead.
Let me be clear. The only reason we destroyed an Xbox Series X is because I promised people we would destroy an Xbox Series X because people paid the price of the Xbox Series X to refund me for the fact the Xbox Series X did not work at all at launch for me.
That was insane. That I feel like we don't bring up the fact that when the Series X came out, it's like your internet's wrong. We will never work.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's just some inherent problem with your internet connection.
Yeah, no,
because that was 4 years ago at this point, so people probably don't know. We're just like, we literally will not download anything.
Yeah, Smart Delivery would not work with Bob's ISP at all, so they literally would not give us the actual next-gen versions of any games.
And of course, we streamed from there. Every other console worked fine.
Literally never had a problem.
None. It's just Cox Communication, one of the biggest internet providers in the country.
In America, yeah. Now, it is worth noting, this is similar to a story that's currently happening to a streamer friend of ours who cannot stream because of their ISP right now. A thing I'd never heard of until then.
Yeah, wow.
There's just some weird thing between the ISP and Twitch itself. And I'm like, holy shit. What a nightmare. They're like, well, either it'll get fixed in the next few hours or never. And I'm like, yep, that was me with the Xbox Series X.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, to hold true to people who reimbursed us for that Xbox, we destroyed that Xbox. And then you're wondering, well, Dan, don't you still have a Series X? Why do you have a Series X if they paid you to compensate you for the Xbox that wouldn't work? Here's the fun story about that. So at the last job I did before I went full-time on the channel, colloquially called Liquor Donuts, I had a coworker who was an Xbox gamer, and I knew he was trying to get it on the next gen. Best Buy was like, hey, we got these up. You want them? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll pick it up and, let him know I picked one up and he can buy it off of me for MSRP. So that way he's not. I show up at his job. He had just bought one for $800.
Never, ever pay for a scalp. Actually, I think I paid for a scalp Switch. Ruh-roh. But I think I only paid 50 above MSRP.
He's like, and then I stabbed him, so it's
So we're even.
And then I took the money back.
Right?
A corpse can't own things.
You can't rob a corpse, said Indiana Jones. Yeah, so I felt bad for him, and also I ended up with an extra Xbox on hand, and that's what I was like, this is absurd. This is absurd.
Yeah, and they've given us basically no reason to use it the entire gen. It's pretty
just
incredible.
back and pat. That is it. That is the only use I've gotten out of this thing in 4 years.
Yeah, I even borrowed it to use back to back.
Especially now that everything's just gonna fucking be on PlayStation
Everything.
also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I cannot stress enough. The Xbox fans will have to see it happen to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be at the best place to play Gears of War, it will be the PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Well, now, Dan, that game's so far out, the bullshit $1,200 fake Xbox will be out by then.
You're right, and so will the PS6.
And somehow the PS5 Pro will still run it better, and nobody will be able to explain how or why.
I am so terrified of that giant Xbox turning everybody who's too locked into the cope to leave into like mutant PC master race guys. It's like, no, the crazy Xbox can run it better than any other console.
And better than any PC.
Do you own one of those? Shut up.
Oh my God.
There's like 6 of them in the continental United States. But because we have footage of one of them running this game better, Xbox is the best place to play.
The future is an exciting place for Xbox. It's a nice pasture out on a hill. It overlooks the highway. It's easy for the cavalcade to get in and out, have the ceremony, leave Xbox 6 feet under and leave. Yeah. Anyway, we really got off track somewhere around the Steam Deck.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but anyways, Mighty Number 9. A pretty bad game. Not the worst Mega Man game if you're going to include it in the Mega Man games.
Yeah, no, there's too many bad X games. There's far too many bad X games.
Yeah, I genuinely will play Mighty Number 9 again rather than play Mega Man X7
Yeah.
or frankly X6.
Yeah,
but
X5 and X6 are also
really-
just so bad. I can't, like, there's no
none of
reason to
those
ever
are
play
very
those.
good.
Mega Man X DOS. I don't know. That sounds entertaining.
Yeah, that might be interesting.
Because in case you didn't know this,
There's a Mega Man X DOS?
oh yeah, it's made by the same person who made the other Mega Man games on DOS. But the thing is, this is very deliberately, I'm trying to recreate Mega Man X, but don't have any of the code or any of the art. So it's a really interesting reconstruction for PC that like certain parts of it don't work. And he didn't know dashing and shooting a pellet does extra damage. So that just still does 1 damage.
Oh shit, I didn't know that fucking
Right.
did extra damage.
I didn't know that until my deep adulthood. Because why would you
Yeah, why would you ever guess
dashing and
that?
shooting
Fucking
be
laser.
Right?
It's a lemon, thank you. Yeah, so anyway.
Greatest opening stage in video games.
I
really
hate
learned
that.
something fighting the mini boss 3 times.
What did you learn by taking forever to walk? What was the value of not having the dash button at the beginning? What is the value of the highway level being that long and you fighting the mini boss twice? What is the fucking value? You know what's funny though? I believe this was the Mighty Number 9 stream. I'm really convinced this was the case. I explained that yet again, Egoraptor as a term, as a word, is censored in our chat because we simply got tired of people pissing and moaning about Egoraptor.
Uh-huh.
Which then led to chat pissing and moaning about Egoraptor. Twitch chats. They are very predictable. Anyway, and for anyone wondering what the connection, he's in the background of the fucking highway level in Mighty Number 9, so we had to go past his billboard 7 fucking times.
Right.
Man, you know, you should do a theme month where you play games with horrible fucking billboards in them. You can play Mighty Number 9 again. You can play Guacamelee.
Oh my god, that has backer billboards? Or
No,
just-
no,
just
but it
has
has
horrible
really
billboards.
fucking unfunny billboards.
Yeah, there's just memes.
Well, shit.
It's
Why
terrible.
wouldn't that be like the crown jewel of meme game month? I feel like that's where the money's
you
at.
get the unbelievably brilliant segment where they tell you how turn-based RPGs are gay.
Is this a Guacamelee?
Yeah, I mean, you go through a door to the turn-based RPG dimension, and every joke is about how it's boring and sucks.
Oh my god.
You know,
That game, I already dropped it like after an hour at most. I didn't think it'd continue to suck even worse.
I would like to point out that No More Heroes 3 also does the complaining about Final Fantasy thing, but it's specific to Final Fantasy, and it's about the design aesthetics. So that,
And also, it's funny because Travis is a stupid dickhead. Like, the
Right.
game isn't ripping on it. Travis is because he's a dumb ass.
right, Travis is an opinionated person and charming because he's so dumb.
And it's really funny how he's like, huh, I never thought of it that way. That is stupid.
Yeah, the weird intellectual alien man is just, he's putting too much weight into what Travis is saying in that entire conversation.
Yeah,
It's so
Travis
good.
radicalizes him.
Right, it's really good. Oh, I'm getting a headache again, Bob. I need to play No More Heroes 3. It's been almost 2 years now, and I'm starting to sweat and feel cold. And now I have a 240 hertz monitor. I should get the PC version.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that would whip so much ass, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And then there would be shader compilation stutter. I'd be like, no! And a number would go down like I'm in Yu-Gi-Oh! God. Anyway, Mighty Number 9. Chat, would you believe it, between all the prep work for all the different podcasts we were doing, the stuff with the monitor, testing it with all those games, and some other shenanigans, that is all I played this week. Just a bunch of games I already owned on this monitor to see how that went, doing prep work for podcasts and some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, what have you been playing?
I've got a chance to finish a few things up.
Okay. All right.
I finished up SMT5 Vengeance.
Okay.
There is a New Game Plus mode where you can bring all your stuff. It's called like New Game Plus Reborn or something. You
What,
just
Dilbert?
oh no.
I'm sorry, I can just see the Nahobino like bursting out of a trash can.
Yes.
As far as I can tell, there is a extra super boss on New Game Plus, but not like an extra ending. There are 2 endings of Vengeance, though, so I might go through it again to get the other ending, which is all based on choices you make throughout the game. It's not something like the end of the regular SMT5. You get to choose near the end, like through dialogue choices and side quests you complete.
Okay.
It's like 4 different endings, whereas there's only 2 in this one. It's all based just on things you say throughout the game.
Okay.
So that is a little bit more traditional, but also weird that it's only 2 endings. Because I was trying the whole game to kind of switch between the 2 choices and hope that there was a neutral route, because that's usually the true ending to these.
Mm-hmm.
But there does not seem to be anything like that. Yeah, it also has some really weird stuff. Near the end of the game, you actually get an ability that's like, there's a restriction on demons you can summon being tied to your level.
Mm-hmm.
Near the end of the game, it's like, screw it. Anything. You can summon any demon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which led to me making a separate save file where I just devastated my team to make every demon.
Okay.
Or almost.
Yeah.
And I got up to like, I think it was 81%. And I'm like, I can't beat the final boss. I have just demolished my team, and I no longer have the money to recreate them.
But let me tell you, if you need a stage play performed by an acting troupe, I've got the widest cast of actors.
Yeah, it turns out the Pikmin strategy doesn't work out
No,
when you're fighting God.
Yeah, they actually have some legitimately difficult bosses near the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Strangely enough, it still has the old super secret final boss from the end of the last game, who is way easier. So you do the crazy stuff to get to it, and it's like, yeah, I'll just walk over the final boss.
Okay.
There's still, like I was saying last week, new stuff incredibly good. Then just, yep, you're back to the old course now. Just finish out the game like this. It's still good. It's just not. It didn't maintain the hype.
I wonder if aggro will feel that moment.
I do wonder as a brand new player if it will hit the same way, or if it'll just be like more of the game cool.
More of the game cool just makes me think of a delicious pizza and only for $5. A delicious feeling meal. I'm so lucky to have gotten this from Little Caesars.
Yeah, I guess I don't really want to say anything else.
Too spoilers.
Yeah, too spoilersy, because there's other stuff that there's one major thing that bugs me, but I don't want to talk about it.
If only there was some cast of spoilers.
I also booted up Concord again because it was their free weekend for everybody now, and not just PlayStation Plus users.
Cool.
They put out a new video this week because they wanted to make it feel like
the weekly episodes.
I hope that I hope everyone who joined in for the free weekend got to see the first 2 videos they put out. Because this one is far worse.
I thought these videos were fucking in engine.
Yeah,
they are, but you get different ones each week.
Right, and in the full game, there's like a menu you go to watch all of them.
But then the beta, it's not there.
It's not there, yeah.
Okay, they put up some weird looking thing that looks like Marvel What If on the PlayStation channel today.
Oh, yeah, it's not that.
So, Bob, what's up with this week's episode? Is it funny?
It tries to be. It's just about, they're just 2 of the characters sitting on a couch talking about, oh man, the rival free gunner group, they helped us earlier, but now we're rivals with them. And they sent a threatening letter. Oh, that's so zany. I'm a robot who doesn't understand this. Laugh.
This is way funnier.
Concord into YouTube.
This is way funnier. If we just take what you said as literally the robot is saying that, like they're all trapped with the robot who wants them to be funny.
That'd be an idea.
That would be hilarious.
Yes.
it's tickling me shitless that every time I YouTube search Concord, I just get new videos of like, this is a piece of shit. Fuck Concord. From like channels that are normally more like even-handed in their coverage. Just like, Concord is gonna kill itself.
Yeah, this game, we played it. Like, Aggro, you even tweeted you playing it this last week.
Yeah, I played a bunch of rounds. Like, I played it all night, and then I got up and I played a few more in the morning. It's real fun to play.
Yeah, I know it's a fun game, and those new modes.
It's a real shame about the rest of it.
Right? They added zones, and zones was a lot of fun.
Well, Aggro, you better get it. All 300 people playing that game on launch day are gonna need help to make the queue shorter.
I'm terrified that the PlayStation numbers were just so dramatically higher, but they're not telling us.
Yeah,
no, I think because you can see it. I think there's some way you can see people playing a game on the app.
Oh, yeah.
And people on Twitter were like, "Fucking nobody's playing this."
Yeah, I saw
Well,
that the weekly high for Steam was 2,400, I believe.
Well, like, here's the thing with Concord. A lot of people aren't paying attention to their marketing strategy. They're doing something you haven't seen before. They decided to get people interested in the game. They're going to trick them by putting out a really pretty controller for $85. And then people will be like, this controller looks awesome. What is this for? Concord. I've never heard of this. And then they're going to get into the game. I see.
Did you guys see that there's a Marvel Rivals beta on top of Concord's release?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Is that like an open beta too?
No, it's a closed one, but it's one of the ones where it's like you sign up and instantly get it, I think.
I posted how insane it is that Sony is so high off their own shit because they aren't actually being challenged by Xbox, so they get to exist in a market space that is literally a duopoly, and you cannot convince me otherwise. That they decided to make an $85 controller available worldwide for a game no one cares about, and if they know it exists, they hate it. And every person who saw that tweet went, well, that controller is awesome. That's like way more compelling than the game.
Yeah, the controller looks pretty nice.
Everyone instantly thought that.
First hit when I search Concord controller. Special Concord PS5 controller looks more appealing than the game.
Concord's vibes are so bad. It's like you made a killer game and then stuck it in the impressive state of being a sophomore in high school and thinking about ending it. Somehow you made a game and the vibes are that.
Okay, Aggro, you played it for the first time this weekend. Did you get to see all 3 videos?
I wasn't aware of them and didn't look for them. No.
It auto-played for us when we booted it.
Yeah, it auto-played the new one for me when I booted it.
Oh, I mean, like I figured it was just a general opening cinematic of them becoming free gunners.
Okay, good. Thank God you got that one.
So he got video 1 of 2 from the prior week, because there is the second one.
Yeah, as long as they didn't just only show the one they showed me.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean this is the introduction to your character? Did you just have 2 sitting on a couch?
They're like, anyways, welcome to Concord. And one dude's just man-spreading on the couch. And it's just like, what the fuck is this game? This dude's taking it so casual.
I don't know how that video was that bad. Even the one I watched.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like all of the tropes are here and you failed at all of them.
Yeah.
How did you do this?
I don't get it. It's worse than basically any Marvel thing. Like, I don't understand.
It's bewildering. Like it's not like, oh, you did not do this skillfully. You didn't not execute this well. This is bad. Like, your character is talking and I want them to shut the fuck up. That shouldn't be my reaction every time someone new starts talking.
I feel like we are still live under the specter of Joss Whedon. Like, he's not allowed in society anymore, yet the scars left persist. And we've been Xeroxing that for so long. And the end result of decades of Xeroxing is Concord.
Yeah, it feels like Joss Whedon spiritually made the, save the cat or whatever, right? Like the story by Robert McKee. Like, he basically laid the groundwork for us to make horrible things. And we're left with these bones. And it's like, okay, now put good meat on the bones. And you're like, protein powder? Just rub it on? Huh?
Oh, Chad is giving us numbers about Concord on console. This open beta had 8% fewer players than the early access beta.
This is the one that everyone can get into.
But I mean, on PlayStation, you need PlayStation Plus to play it anyway.
Yeah,
so it
but
would make
that's
sense
what
that 8% wouldn't come back.
Oh, right, because you needed PlayStation Plus to play, and that's all
Yeah,
you needed
both
for
on
the first.
PlayStation were
So
free.
both of them were free, but you needed Plus for both. So there was no distinction then,
Not really.
between the weeks at all on PlayStation.
No.
But yeah, apparently it ranked position number 29 on the top 40 both weeks.
That's great for a first-party Sony game that, by definition of its genre, needs a lot of players to exist at all, huh? Hey, that's an angle of these fucking service games we never talk about. If your population gets too low, it's over. You can't come back. You're dead. Like the moment wait times get too long, everybody's dead. It's over.
People are pointing out the open beta, weirdly enough, did not need PlayStation Plus, which makes no sense because that is a rule. That's notionally, that's what you're buying with PlayStation Plus.
Right? And you'll need it for the game.
With more than double the prospective player base, it did worse.
Snowplex says most of the free games don't need Plus. Concord will cost $40 when it comes out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a free game.
So
yeah, then. Oh man.
like what's the confusion? This what they did it for free? No, it was already free. This wasn't a product they gave away. They just flipped the fucking switch.
Man,
it seems confusing because what they're doing is horrible.
I am so we need forget will this have more users on higher peak users on Steam than Forspoken? We're approaching will it have more players on Steam than Immortals of Avium, which, for the reminder, was 734, I think.
How many months after launch before this shows up as a free game on the basic tier of PlayStation Plus?
I don't even think that's going to happen. I think they're just going to be like, it's free now. In 2 months, they'll be like, it is free to play now.
Yep.
We need people in it because it does not work anymore.
that's why I'm throwing up the 2. I'm there with Chris. 2 months, 100%.
I don't even think it'll be a PS Plus thing. Like, I think it will be, no, it's just a free game now. It's just free. You don't even need PS Plus to play it. We have microtransactions. Please, please, God, please.
Yeah,
we want to thank our players who backed us on day one by making sure that you get a better experience than our new players who are joining us for free. So we ruined the game for them. So our game will continue to not do
We're 5v5 now.
They actually did a big announcement, I think it was yesterday, of a bunch of stuff about how it's going to work, launch and post-launch. There will not be a battle pass, and there will just be free content updates as things go. But it's like,
I don't
if you
think
can't
battle passes
do that,
have any place in a game that you pay money to get into. Like, if it's pay to enter, I don't feel like a battle pass really has a place there.
It works in Helldivers, but I can't say it's ever worked anywhere else ever.
You could have, like,
because in
I don't know,
Helldivers, feels like a Call of Duty progression unlock thing. It doesn't feel like, because
does it update?
that's separate.
Does it change?
I think you get to keep working at it even if it does. I think you get to.
Is there a paid route?
There is an entirely separate battle pass that is like a paid
so that
thing,
is a traditional battle pass,
right? Yeah,
unlike the Call of
but
Duties and stuff.
no one was upset by it, and as a player, like everything else with Helldivers 2, that is hard to articulate. There is a level of it nails it where it doesn't feel gross, like. That game legitimately feels like old multiplayer style video games and not modern games as a service nightmare vampire.
God, now I'm just remembering how Tekken and Street Fighter notionally have a battle pass, and they both suck so bad. I don't know if anyone even buys them.
I've never heard anyone talk about the battle pass or giving a shit on those.
They're so bad.
Also, chat pointed out, so I should say this here, you can get the credits necessary to buy the premium battle pass in the game.
Oh, so I was like, wow.
Yes. Pandas and everything.
Yes.
Any other thoughts on Concord?
I don't. Do you have any aggro?
No, other than the eerie feeling of loading into a match with a random character I couldn't try out because there's not a practice mode in the beta.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking.
And like 15 seconds in, going, "Oh, this is Destiny."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
End to end.
Yeah. It is just Destiny.
just
You're
Destiny.
literally on a Destiny map.
The structure of gameplay is Overwatch for some reason, but everything else feels and looks like Destiny.
Yeah, even the zones mode is like, this is directly the way the zones works in Destiny.
Yep.
Specifically.
So good job on taking Destiny, removing the really cool outer space wizard element of it, and replacing it with a Marvel film, you fucking assholes.
I think Concord might be the greatest argument for video games being art, because everything in this game is mathematically correct. And everyone hates it.
Yeah. Mathematically correct, precise, machine precision, right? And artistically repugnant at every level.
It's so frustrating because since Destiny's launch, I've been like, I want a version of this where I can just boot it up and play. I don't need to have like this investment in the PvE side of it to get the weapons I want and all the nonsense with building a character. I don't want that in my multiplayer shooter. I want a multiplayer shooter I can pick up and play.
Right.
And they screw it up so bad, it's just upsetting.
Yeah.
And it sounds like there's even the weird stuff in this where it's like, oh yeah, you can get version 2 of this character has a different loadout. It's like, I don't want that. I don't want the confusion that is.
You know, we're coming up on, September 9th will be the 10-year anniversary of Destiny.
The 10-year plan.
It'd be the 10-year plan seems just to be lowering the Bungie into the fucking molten metal.
Yes. The 10-year plan was to slowly seal them away in concrete. Oh man.
It's a shame we might be busy on September 9th or whenever that was, September 14th, or 2014, because we might have other things going on that we've been talking about setting up for September. Because I would love to do the 10-year plan stream series. It might be good enough to just delay our plans to a different month, but I don't know. I'm not really committed. Anyway, let's talk about anything other than Concord and Destiny.
I played... What's up?
If you want to talk about something different, you can go get a Sky plush from Endless Monday for 4 more days if you go to Twitter user at HCNone, None. You can purchase a plushie of the hit character Sky from hit video game Endless Wonder. May or may not have featured in many categories on our Game of the Year last year. I have already ordered one.
I too have already ordered one. I forget, does she come with a hamburger?
She does come with a hamburger, which is kind of selling me on it.
It's really good. No air fryer though.
That'll be for the next air fry with Sky one.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of getting sold here.
Yeah, no, it's really strong.
It is. One moment. Yeah.
It's because I bought that I didn't buy those Gundam shoes.
So you're saying I should buy the Gundam shoe?
I'm not saying that.
Shit, man. I might have to go and retroactively shove her into the fucking thumbnail.
She's really strong.
But yeah, that's we were talking about, what was it? Endless Mondays, Dreams and Deadlines is the full title, I believe.
That sounds right.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot on Game of the Year. 2023's Game of the Year, definitely worth looking into. And this plush is a limited time only because it's make ship. I don't know. I main reason why I didn't get the Sky one is because, one, I spent enough money recently. 4K 240 hertz monitor.
Yeah.
And 2, I want Tiger Chan.
Yeah, there's a chance she'll come back.
I hope eventually.
Because this is apparently the larger site-wide thing at Makeship where they're doing a second wave of popular ones. I assume Tiger Chan was also pretty popular, so we might see a second wave of some others.
I just had a moment of, wait, where the fuck is Sybil?
She's up there, behind the controllers and stuff.
Oh, okay. She's safely over there guarding the PS2 SSD.
Yes.
I'm pretty happy with Sybil. Bob, what else did you play?
I also played Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn.
How'd that go?
Yabba dabba do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow!
I kind of wish I could get a refund.
Oh no! What?
The traversal is cool. You have a surprising
When
amount
it
of it.
works.
When it works.
Oh no!
It feels real loose on everything, like Edgar was talking about last week. There's a cool universe where you got this like, God, what century did you probably say this is in, Aggro?
This is definitely Napoleonic.
Okay, and
So, like,
with
18th
demons and stuff, and like cool mountains that transform and things like that, and like you have a little fox thing that follows you, all this cool stuff. But oh man, the combat's really bad.
Why?
And it wants you to. It also wants to be hard, like Dark Souls.
And
it's like you're not good enough for that.
Yeah. Every Dark Souls inclusion makes the game worse. Like this, I eventually crystallized my feelings about the combat in this game.
Okay.
I never felt like I was in a fair fight. I was either allowed to clown on these enemies completely, or some bullshit happened and I died.
Yeah, they want you to do stuff like perfect guards and things like that, and it's like your game doesn't feel good enough for that. A lot of times it just doesn't even register when I shoot them out of their animation, like in Bloodborne. It just doesn't work.
We're going to give them a red glow when they do an unblockable attack, and then you hit this button to pull out your pistol, unless they have a shield, or unless your pistol animation is longer than their attack animation, or we just decide it didn't work this time.
Yeah, so many issues. I thought some of it might have been coming from when I played the demo, my PC couldn't run it that well. But now here it is locking 60 and still having all these problems.
It's a tragedy. Like, everything in it doesn't work, and it's so close, and I desperately want to play the game these people wanted to make.
Right. Yeah.
Also, the audio balance is terrible.
Yeah,
Like the worst.
random.
Your main character is always extremely audible. No one she's talking to is, because they're like placed in the environment. So they're like,
But those three guys, half the town away, practicing with their swords. Oh, that's right fucking next to you, audio-wise.
yes.
Why? What?
It is some of the worst audio balance I've heard.
Oh my god.
It feels so bad. Like, please, like, I want to play the next game they make. Like, okay, like, you tried. It wasn't, like, usually when I play a game from people, like, we've all played really terrible games by people we wish were transported into the sun. This just feels like they didn't quite make it correctly. It's so close. If they could have just tuned it a little.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically how I felt about Demon Turf.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, these parameters are fucking off.
Right. It's
like,
nowhere
really
near
off.
as solid as Demon Turf. It's like there's a base
Because
level.
in Demon Turf, the problem is like a focus problem.
Right.
The game feels good and is enjoyable, but for whatever reason, they're focusing on, you need to like 100%, 97% of the content in this to get an ending. Most of this is combat rooms. And you go, why? Whereas this, it just sounds like every single element of it isn't up to stuff.
Yeah, no, things just do not work well enough. And with enough polish, I could definitely see them having made this game work. But it doesn't feel like it's going to ever happen. I can't believe they launched it like this. It's like,
yeah,
I don't
ship eventually, and I guess they didn't have an extra year to polish it up.
Yeah,
because this sounds like one of those where it's like, if they had another year.
It's sad. Wanted Dead ended up a lot better. And even, you know how I've talked about that being rough.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff here wasn't bad decisions. It really did just feel like a lack of experience. Like with the way the jump animation is, it's so like we didn't tweak any of the standard engine settings floaty. Like when you play indie games that are just made of assets and the character just goes up in that arc.
And yet it's happening with this obviously fully made and designed character.
Yes.
It's so bizarre.
I ran into a really specific problem where, unlike most Souls games, there are just like death walls here, where like if you fall off a thing, it'll just kill you and respawn you with a little of your health missing. But instead of having like areas designated to respawn you in, it just respawns you on the last bit of ground you were standing on, which sometimes when the automatic ledge grab doesn't work, sometimes
I for a moment was like, there's an automatic ledge grab?
yeah, sometimes you land on a little bit of geometry below that, and it registers that before you slide off because you were in motion and die, and it respawns you on that ledge from which you cannot reach anything, and you have to teleport back down the mountain to my last save point.
If you die there, will your souls just be stuck there? Because it's had the soul system, you drop all your souls.
Of course it does. Of course.
Oh no, it's just when you drop off, it just respawns you.
Okay.
Like I say, it kills you, but it doesn't like kill you.
Damages you and replaces you.
And like everything that's happening in the game is super cool.
Yeah.
And I love the levels. That mini game can fuck off and die though.
Oh yeah, that mini game sucks. I don't know what they were thinking.
Like it's a really simple thing where you've got a grid and you've got 3 coins and your opponent has 3 coins, and moving one at a time, you're trying to make a triangle out of your coins and they're trying to block you.
Okay.
And honestly, like that's pretty cool. It's straightforward. There are like different grid shapes and stuff. Then I found out there are, as you go through the game, special coins that have superpowers, like jumping other coins or like blocking 2 spaces.
What?
And you can find them out in the world. And as you challenge more people to the minigame, they'll have random superpower coins. And I'm like, oh, this is not okay. Why did you do this?
That doesn't sound good.
Is it Whitest Kid You Know who did the chess with the nuke? Like that skit? This is what it feels like, where it's just like, you have the ultimate chess piece, the nuke. It might be Mr. Show.
Yeah, I don't like
it. That sounds that level of stupid.
Right. And what bothered me during it was before even they introduced that, this game just takes too long.
Yeah, of course.
It takes way, because there's 2 phases of it. Like there's you trying to make the triangle, then you have to prevent them from making the triangle. It's like, man, this is so many turns.
The amount of devs who do not realize their mini game needs to be snappy and quick, because mini games are just gameplay. So you need to focus on the game feel in order to really deliver. It's insane. Endless list. It's a Wikipedia article that Ouroboros. It never ends. List of games that missed the fucking point. Goes forever. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to both of you.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
It's so sad because like I'll go for long stretches and nothing bad will happen, and I'll think maybe it was just the early part, or maybe now I've got like enough health and I've got enough offensive options and everything's going to come together. And it's not.
I think what we're learning is this year, just don't even play anything that isn't an RPG. You know,
Astrobot better fucking deliver.
You're telling me.
God.
If Astrobot misses, I'm going to change.
If people already will just be like, fucking RPG boomers. If Astrobot misses, like the Sony getting any rope on anything forever is over. They're now Microsoft tier.
Yeah.
Luckily, I played another game this week that was not an RPG and was actually very good.
Power Wash Simulator?
No, it came out this year.
Cat Quest 3, is that out?
We got a code for it. This is a sponsored, I guess, by Capcom.
Oh, okay. Let me. Aggro, did you have anything else you want to say about Concord, or could we move on?
Or
sorry,
Flintlock.
Flintlock.
No, I'm good.
Where the fuck is that button? Ah, there we go.
Game code provided by
Capcom. That's right. We're talking about Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess. Whoa. Bob, how is it?
It is really cool. It's got a really nice vibe to it. It's just very calm. It's got a ton of great art. And then they should have put the opening level in the demo. I don't know why they didn't. Because it does a really good job of like, there's still no dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
But it just very well like structures the game and shows you what the idea is, the core concept of like, oh, you're on the top of this mountain in some shrine. A big demon gets out, and you and the priestess have to run. And you seem to be some sort of spirit person.
Okay.
And it's just a fun little opening level. And then you get right into the structure of the game, which I didn't quite understand from the demo.
Man, this demo sounds like it did a really bad job of selling the game from an introduction angle and a scope angle.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, it gives you... I understand why they made it like they did. They didn't want to have the save transfer stuff. They didn't want to... Yeah. And they wanted to get you right into the tower defense gameplay, which it did give you good... like I said, I think it was last week, of like, no, this is actually really well put together and solid like ideas here. So I get why they did it from that angle, but it's nice to see it like fully fleshed out. Like, okay, the way the structure is going to be... You do a tower defense level. Then you do a boss fight in that level. That boss fight unlocks a new tower defense unit to make.
Okay, cool.
And then you can also turns that level into a base you have to reconstruct.
Awesome. This sounds like all the things I enjoy.
So every time you beat a level, you go into that level and build up the base by having the different villagers you saved in that stage work on different parts of it. So then that's time management of like, okay, you come back after you complete another level and they've completed a task, or sometimes it's two. And then them completing tasks in that base, well, you get like new art, new currency to build up your different unit types and all sorts of stuff. And then like after probably like 8 or so stages, like, oh, here's a whole unlock tree for your main character to get new moves. And it feels like it just constantly is expanding out and has lots of really neat ideas for what they can do with these levels. Because it's not all just the guiding the goddess down the pathway stages.
Okay.
Some of them it's that, but they mix in like, oh, there's lanterns in this area because that whole area is dark. And you can attack units in the dark, but if you want your allies to be able to attack units in the dark, you have to light the lanterns.
Yeah.
And then other ones where it's like, no, you don't get to bring anyone in. You have to deal with all this yourself. There was a cool one where I had to get on a boat and protect boats while they cross a river.
Nice.
It feels like every other level, they're like, hey, we're mixing this up. We're doing something interesting with it.
This sounds a lot more fascinating and compelling a game than Exoprimal.
Yes.
Which is weird because I feel like Exoprimal really set a precedence for what this game might have been that I think has maybe done it a disservice.
I think that kind of did foul the water. I mean, for the longest time, we thought this was going to be multiplayer or something. And it's like, no, it's nothing like that. It's like an action game mixed with pixel junk monsters.
Right. Which is exactly how it sounds, and that sounds incredible.
Right. And like, no, this is really good. It also has a bunch of Okami crossover stuff.
Okay, cool.
If you're into that, you can even get Okami music.
Yeah, wasn't there a thing in the demo where if you play the demo, you get even more Okami stuff?
The way that worked is people who played the demo built up towards a list of things, checklists, and that means everybody who plays the game unlocked it.
Okay, great.
So it has nothing to do with you playing the demo.
I don't have to play the demo.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
I do, however, need to finish Like a Dragon 8, blitz through Trails Through Daybreak, and then Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance.
Play Unicorn Overlord.
Play Unicorn Overlord. And then I can play this.
God, it feels like a PS2 game in a lot of ways.
Okay.
They even there's a special save menu that's like custom in universe.
Ooh.
Like you don't see that in modern games at all. A lot of people complain about, oh yeah, everyone just uses the stock thing that PlayStation has.
The library.
Yeah, the libraries. And it's like, no, this is straight up a sheet of paper that you open up in the area because it's at your home base. You have like a little shrine you set up for the priestess, and the equipment screen, the save screens, everything's in there. So you actually just have sitting out like, oh, here are your different subas for your sword. They'll give you different abilities next to these other items you bring to the stage to get you to like enhance your base stats and that sort of stuff. And it's all just physical objects. And then here's the tray to put sweets on for her to eat. Yeah.
You feed her?
Yeah, you feed her treats.
Okay. What's the point of that?
They're very highly detailed models of real sweets.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
With full tech descriptions and what it would have been used for. Like, oh, this is used in ceremony because it's bright red, so it's for their ancestors.
Do they have like a stat increase or anything?
No.
Like, it's just to look at cool treats.
It's just and then watch her pick it up and eat it.
Okay.
It's important.
Who am I to judge?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this game where it's just like, no, this is just here for the sake of having cool art. Like, there's a whole...
Whoa! Video games can just have cool art?
There's a whole menu you unlock. 2 different ones, like one's for woodblock carvings, where it's just like ink on wood. I don't know. I can't remember the Japanese term for that, where they hang them all at a shrine.
I know what you're talking about.
But one of those for every single enemy or unit type in the game that you unlock through the game. And then a separate menu where it's like you're getting scrolls of old Japanese style paintings of just random scenes. Like, it's not even actually stuff directly in the game. It's just like, this cool art. You
kind of like Dragon's Crown.
Yeah, kind of like Dragon's Crown.
Here's some cool art. This is your reward. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm worried this game is not going to be received, period.
Yeah, they did a terrible job marketing
it. They did a horrible job marketing it. Literally the worst.
They put it on Game Pass, just a giant, like...
debuff.
Yeah, debuff immediately. I've already seen people being like, oh, it's a great Game Pass game. It's like, that means it's bad. That means it's not going to sell anything.
Right.
You let Microsoft deal with the marketing because you did that.
Right.
So your marketing was terrible.
Your marketing was terrible, and now your game's been devalued because people on this platform aren't paying for it. It's their free $240 video game.
Yes.
I love Spiff. I made the joke about Spiff getting an Xbox so that way he could play something on Game Pass. He's like, yeah, let me just go spend $740 to play this game.
Yeah, get my free game.
Free.
Yeah.
Man, this game sounds really dope.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Damn, dude. Damn.
Like I said, you get a new unit type like every stage almost. There's a few where you don't.
Yeah.
But a lot of times that'll be supplemented with like unlocking all those abilities for your main character, which you get like a bow and arrow. You get a different fighting style entirely, which you need to change between levels, so you don't get really switch between them. And you also get charge moves for everything, and you get a stinger move, and you get dodge attack moves. So they start to like make it feel like a real action game eventually.
Dope. Which means that that one streamer, Bear Eat Salmon, needs to play this because it's now an action game with the stinger.
Yes.
That's how it works.
It's a really weird stinger that's not very good, honestly. But it's better than Devil May Cry 2's stinger.
That's what I was going to ask. I'm like, we have a bar for this. There's a system. How good is it compared to Devil May Cry? Okay, cool.
Also, the bow and arrow is kind of wonky because it uses the target lock system, which doesn't work.
We have a bar for this, too. Is it better or worse than Dynasty Warriors?
Worse. Because in Dynasty Warriors, you go first person you can aim. And this is like, okay, I gotta click in the right analog stick and hope to God it has selected the enemy.
You make it sound so easy. I would just aim. It's like, you fucking played those games.
I know, but I also remember distinctly fighting some dude out leveled me by like probably 20 times or something, and there's just one, and you just keep bouncing back and walking forward, bouncing back and walking forward.
And then you run away or ride away on your horse and start it again. And eventually they get bored enough where they just respawn back where they were. So then you ride the horse back and start over. This sounds good. We should do something on this.
Maybe. I don't know if it'll stream super well just because it's still a tower defense game with a very little story.
So you're saying we got to make a video essay?
Oh, no.
The Capcom hit everyone is sleeping on, and then just somebody draw Bob as Matt McMuscles or whatever. I don't know why you're buff now and a skeleton, but you've got the hat on, so they'll be like, oh, it's Bob.
I see.
The video starts. They see normal ass you wearing the hat. They're like, this sucks. Downvote.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. People should try it. It's really cool.
Cool. Awesome. Did you play anything else?
No, that was everything. I downloaded and got ready to play Dawn Trail.
Daybreak.
Daybreak.
Trails
God.
through Daybreak.
Bob's gearing up to play
did
17
you give up and
DLC.
buy it digitally?
No, I threw in the disc and downloaded the updates and everything.
Oh, okay, so you installed it.
Yeah, I installed it. Yeah. And I also picked up Grandblue Versus Rising
Yeah,
for reasons that may become apparent later in the podcast.
maybe. Yeah, so talking a little bit more about what I've been doing instead of playing Like a Dragon 8. Just wanted to talk about, I watched, Kroll won the vote, obviously, for Blessed Blonde Tent Blub. That is 100% the fault of us doing a Dark Sector stream the prior week.
Whatever, still counts.
I watched a movie that was also on the list for voting, After Hours, and I got Bob to watch it because I actually rented this from I think it was Amazon. And I was like, this stream's kind of stinky. Maybe I go and buy this because Barnes and Noble every July and one other month in the year they do a Criterion sale. Criterion goes on sale across all distributors and everything. And luckily, the Barnes and Noble next to us had a copy, so I watched that again. That is a delightful fever dream nightmare movie that everyone should see.
Yeah, no, I think that movie's really interesting.
I think that's my favorite Scorsese film, and it is not going to be easy to surpass. I also watched Kroll, but I don't get to tell you about that. You have to go and watch that when that comes out.
I tried the Whataburger coffee.
Oh, you got the iced coffee.
Yeah, the iced coffee from Whataburger.
How's that treating you?
I got the one without the sweet cream because
you got it without any flavor.
No. This has caramel flavoring, but it doesn't have sweet cream because I was like, that's going to be milky. I can't drink that on podcast day, especially.
Yeah.
This is terrible. This is maybe the sourest coffee I've ever had.
Wow, mine wasn't that sour, but why would I ever assume they would consistently make a thing at our Whataburger, let alone any fast food place? Right?
Yeah.
Reverse that. I'm sorry. I got the caramel latte milkshake and then also a vanilla iced coffee from them. And the iced coffee was like pretty strong, pretty decent, but the caramel latte milkshake didn't have a strong enough coffee flavor, so I just poured the coffee into it and stirred it, and I was like, nailed it. We got it.
Yeah, this might be able to be salvaged if I had like just put in milk or something, but
yeah, we actually do have oat milk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you want to take a moment from the podcast and go do that, you can go do that. I'm going to throw it to one of these other two. Talk about whatever the hell they're doing. Aggro, did you watch After Hours in the last week?
I can't say that I did.
Damn. I'm just going to hit that button one more time on the way out because we sure do love that button around here.
Game code provided by
Capcom. Hey, Aggro. Well, have you played anything else? I think that was it.
No,
right?
that was it.
Aggro, what you been playing?
So, I downloaded the demo for Deathbound.
Oh.
Which you might remember from this summer, where it's the game it's the game where there's a guy wearing a suit of armor with a Pope hat. I booted that up, and my soul had been so crushed by the slow realization that Flintlock wasn't going to get any better that I spent about 2 minutes playing another substandard Souls-like and had to turn it off because I was just defeated.
Now you know.
Yeah, that's what Deathbound feels like.
Yep. It's like, hey, hit these two buttons at the same time to do this thing. And when I finally got it to go off, I'm like, that wasn't worth it.
Jeez.
I want to try it again later after my soul has recovered. Because right now, like that's not Deathbound's fault. I was in a bad place. but that's actually all I've played. And the sick part is I might actually still finish Flintlock.
Oh my god! I'm sorry.
Happy for you.
I need to see it. I need to see what the end of this game is like.
I bet at the cliffhanger, I bet we don't even accomplish any goal we set out to do.
Oh my god, I'm going to be so mad if they try to sequel tease this game.
I've been there numerous times where it's like, this game sucks. I need to complete it. Like, I've been there during Game of the Year grinds, even, where it just meant a lot to me to know. I would list some games, but then people who are fans of those games would maybe be upset. But hey, remember that top-down game that was like Nier Automata meets Steven Universe, and it stole the top spinning thing from fucking Zelda Twilight Princess or whatever? Yeah, that one. That's the number one that
should
comes
I
to
say the
mind.
name or not?
Nah.
Okay.
We'll let the comments have it out. Hey, Chris, what you been playing?
Unicorn Overlord.
Woo!
That's it.
Is it good?
Yes, it's good. I am glad it is pretty easy, because if it was harder, if they were like, okay, you need to do the gambit board and keep up on all the equipment for 50 characters,
Yeah.
I would probably have dropped it.
Yeah, the equipment was right out at the edge of this is an acceptable amount of stuff to have to keep track of.
Please, Aggro, please look forward to Trails of Cold Steel 3, 4, and Reverie.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really neat. It reminds me a lot of Octopath Traveler 2. Like, it's just a very similarly structured game, and that you run around all these paths on a continent and do battles.
And there's
Yeah,
not a set order.
I did notice, like, this is an interesting response to the open world, the web of hallways.
That mining minigame has some issues. I feel like I'm flying directly into it, that little mining minigame they make you do in each region. Because it's not a grid. And also the hitboxes for the spots are pretty small, so it's like...
Yeah, they're real tiny.
I've dug every single fucking spot around. Just let me hit it.
Yeah, and you turn really weird. Like when you do the turnaround, it doesn't feel quite right.
Yes.
Yeah, like I had to train myself to it's close. Okay, no, walk away from it, walk back, and try it again.
Yes, I had to do that too. I still did it over and over every time I found one until I got all the treasure maps. I'm not stupid.
I actually, for some reason, didn't have a compulsion to get everything until way late in the game. I was like, I want the resources. I want to build these bridges.
Yeah, but I need to be very strong so I can murder all these guys really effortlessly. Which is going pretty swimmingly because horse is clear.
Yeah, they don't start punishing you for that till way late in the game, and by then you've got answers for that.
It's like, man, I guess this is accurate to most warfare through human history. But not a lot. This evil empire doesn't really have an answer to me. Just going like, you guys aren't on horses. Horsemen go, just trample them.
And then the horses all buff each other. It's fucking great.
If you play Unicorn Overlord, just know your units aren't supposed to be balanced. Pick two things and go, okay, you're good at killing these two things, and you kill them really well. So all my units are like, okay, here's 2 horsemen, 2 hammer users, and a healer. If it's on foot or has a big shield, it dies. Or 2 horsemen and 2 archers. If it flies or moves real fast, it dies. Okay, somebody confirmed me if this is something Aggro said, or if I fabricated a thing Aggro said in my head playing Unicorn Overlord. But I have gotten to the 4th area, the snowy north. And I just hear in my head Aggro saying something to the effect of, up north, there's a country composed of nothing but crystal from Star Fox. And I can't remember if that's something Aggro said at some point or if I dreamed it.
That's not a reference I would make.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't remember that coming up on the podcast.
Alarming that I just made such a thing up. But just in my head, I hear aggro commenting on how so many of the population of this country are Crystal from Star Fox.
Well,
I mean, it's not wrong.
Was the voice in your head wrong?
No.
Well, there we go.
If it was correct, you may assume that I said it.
No, that's not.
God, it's real pretty. They sure made a lot of art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did.
If there's any issue with the game, I would say it has to be that I would have liked some bespoke levels, and there aren't really any. Like, all your battles are on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have liked, like,
Yeah.
I would have liked when because there's like one big city in each region you take in a battle. I would have liked to like zoom into a city. Like there's a city map.
Yeah.
But most of those are just kill the guard and then walk in and beat the guy on the checkpoint to death.
Or have someone fly over the wall on a harpy and kill everyone.
Yeah, that stamina system. If you don't know, all your units in Unicorn Overlord, and by unit I mean a squad, because you have 10 squads that deploy as units, single units. They have a stamina number over their head, and when that hits 0, they can't move and can't use most of their combat skills until they rest or you use an item to restore their stamina. I think Fire Emblem should steal that. Because in Fire Emblem, this is my guy. I'll just throw him into 40 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Problem solved. And you can't really do that in Unicorn Overlord because of the stamina system.
Yeah, unless you're just pumping items into him. It's
Right.
like, that's not healthy.
And I do that sometimes.
Right,
My life has
sometimes.
been saved many times
yeah,
by
you got him. You
eat some nuts, eat the nuts right now, put them in your mouth, put the nuts in your mouth so you get some stamina back and you can walk 2 feet over to this. Man, I don't know when else you would use them, but every time I get in a catapult,
Uh-huh.
it's like time to chug hourglasses.
Yes.
I should probably also start using. I'm gonna get to the end of the game. And I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna stuff ash down my mouth and regain my meter so I can spam these overworld attack moves.
Jesus.
Dragoon dive over and over and kill these guys.
Damn,
Yeah,
I'm a
some of those
genius.
Valor moves are sick, especially the Lance Connect's summon ability.
I really like the ones that move you on the horses or the wyvern riders, because it's just like, not only did you sweep through a bunch of guys and kill them, not only did you damage the boss, making them much less effective in combat, you also traversed a bunch of distance, are now on top of the boss and instantly go into combat with him. He's dead now.
I absolutely loved summoning. I had a unit with the main witch and the archer, and it was a great unit. But just putting her on the field and leaving her there because she was slow as shit, running my horse guys all the way across the map, and then using her valor skill to teleport on top of them.
Yep, that is a good strat. I also like using her spell in conjunction with catapults. It's like, you can't move anymore. Stay there. And then they look up like the cat that's about to have a bookcase fall on it and just see a big hail of rocks. The only times I have died in this game is when I lost track of time and got hit by the time limit.
Oh, I've been there.
I have not lost through combat at all.
God, that's one of the worst feelings.
Yeah, it's not a super
what a
hard
good
game. I can't
game.
remember if there's a super hard mode to try.
There are a lot of difficulty modes. There's one called True Zenorian difficulty that has permadeath.
Oof.
Yeah, it's permadeath, and it severely limits the number of items you can use in a single combat.
Oof.
Yeah, that's the one where you have to micromanage your equipment and gambit boards and shit. But a very neat game. I'm mad that I maxed out my renown, and it's like, you may claim the sword of your ancestors. I'm like, oh, cool, I get a cool sword. It's like fight a unit that's like 10 levels higher than you. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I can't fucking do that, can I?
Yeah, I had to come back for that one way later. We are immune to your horse shit.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just sat down and was like, I can think through this, and eventually did. Because I did that with the Coliseum and got pretty much to the end of it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I think I could do that if I was a little bit higher level. I think the number difference right now is just a little bit too much even for me to like counter pick all the units on that in that battle.
It is really great how this is the kind of game where you can go in like, oh, I'm going to lose this fight every time. Unless I fiddle with these couple of abilities and get this one to trigger before that one triggers, and then we just fucking sweep them.
Yeah, like one thing that's super cheap is the Druid has an ability where she blinds everyone. I think it's called Sandstorm or something.
Sandstorm. It costs 3 AP, and it guarantees that everyone's next attack is going to miss.
Right, and that just wrecks them.
Yeah, you put some accessories on them, so it's like, you go first.
Uh-huh.
what
Blind them.
what unit does that?
I think it's Druid. Cool.
Yeah, is that the one that unlocks the like the grind battles for you if you want to do
Yes.
those? Okay, so her, yeah.
I think she gets them, like, I think they develop it naturally through levels, but there's also a staff that will give anybody that skill.
Yeah, I got that pretty early on. I was like, okay, her unit will now be the unit.
Another comparison to Fire Emblem. This game doesn't have permadeath except as an added difficulty thing on the hardest skill.
Mm-hmm.
So I was genuinely confused when I started doing like the support conversations and other characters showed up. Because that can't happen in Fire Emblem because of permadeath.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I would say that is maybe an argument for Fire Emblem to ditch permadeath as anything but like a difficulty mechanic. Because it sure makes those conversations a lot more fun when a third character can walk up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's even in this. I feel like there are not enough support conversations, but yeah, they have that. It does make them feel better.
God, what a game!
They don't miss.
There's definitely some characters I'm like, oh, I wanted to recruit you. Why did you have to be one of the ones that die? Oh, because there's a lot of characters like in any Fire Emblem game, you just decapitate them.
Mm-hmm.
And in this game, it's like, wow, I get to recruit you? Jesus.
Yeah, you get to recruit almost everyone. It's kind of insane.
God, such a good game. I'll probably finish it soon, before the next big thing to mention, certainly, because I've already covered 72% of the map.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like you did almost the entire game.
That's a single week, right? You weren't playing that before Last Big Thing, were you?
No. In fact, I beat Trails Through Daybreak the morning before Last Big Thing to mention.
God.
Well, that's awesome. You know, Bob and I are obviously about to go through Trails Through Daybreak. We can do a spoiler cast, and Aggro's not
Sure.
invited.
Hey, like I said, Aggro can skip ahead if he wants. He ain't gonna fucking get spoiled on anything. They are stunningly good at not telling you anything that happened in those previous games.
As someone who is thoroughly enjoying Like a Dragon 8, when I'm not sure if you knew this, it comes after 7.
Which came after 6 games.
Which came after 7 games.
Yeah, but you
Zero.
don't need to fucking know. Like you know that Kiryu's the guy. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
I
Is that
think
like
everyone
normally
knows
he's
that.
the dude that fights 700,000 people at once and wins.
Look, I need to know if he's the guy who says "dame dane." Like, I don't know. Maybe that was some other Yakuza man, and he won't say it in this game because he's a different guy. He's a voice actor. Young Ye or whatever. Young Yi. I don't know how to say his name. I've never watched a single video from that guy. Look, Aggro should play Daybreak.
Yeah, I keep getting closer every hour. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, no,
Just
yeah.
pull the
Like, I'm
trigger.
gonna. I'm like, now that I'm done with Flintlock, I'm thinking.
We can all talk about the thing. I'm so excited to be able to talk about the thing. Bob hasn't played enough of the demo to get to the thing.
I can't wait for it to be clobber in time.
It kind of is clobbering time when you get the thing.
Did you have anything else you want to say about Unicorn Overlord?
Nah.
Okay. Real quick, just going to talk about what we have coming up. Bob and I, we finally figured out the back end technologies. We had some help from Joseph Gordon-Levitt. We're finally ready to stream the Beyond Good and Evil Death stream. And that's going to be tomorrow. We promise. And
It's gonna be there.
It's not going to, we promise it's going to happen. It's not, it's going to be there. It's going to be there tomorrow, and you're all going to love it.
We're gonna get to see all those cool hints to Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Chris, do you have any streaming plans coming up?
I am finished with the roof,
Nice.
but not this weekend. I have to take care of things I couldn't take care of when I was busy with the roof.
Okay, cool.
But there will be some. We will resume streaming. I will do Threads of Fate / Jim Prism, which is its Japanese name, which I think is a much cooler name than Threads of Fate.
Huh.
What? I never
Yeah,
knew that.
Right?
Yeah, its Japanese name is Jim Prism.
Jim Prison.
And
Prism.
reading about the game, all that you read is that like all these high up Square Enix guys who are still there, like think that's like the best fucking game they ever. Oh, Do Prism, not Jim Prism. I'm sorry, Do Prism.
Do?
Like DEW?
DEW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
It's all these Square Enix guys saying like sucking the game's dick, and I'm genuinely wondering like, is this gonna be like you clearly see the DNA of every game Square Enix made after it in it? Like it's just this weird missing link of game genetics.
Like,
You have to wonder.
my favorite part about playing that game as a kid is every time I would describe it to someone later, they went, "Oh shit, that! I thought that was a Tales game." That's why I could never find it.
I get it. Hearing that, thinking about that, I could see how someone would think that was a Tales of game.
I mean, it's technically, it might be their first 3D action RPG.
I think it probably is. I think it's probably before Vagrant Story.
Probably.
Hey, Aggro.
Yes, sir.
Is there any how do you view the possibility of liquor compelling you to go live with Dark Souls 3 again at random?
I mean, I don't make plans. I execute them.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Wait, he's just like Jin Kari.
Wait a second. Plans. That reminds me of the Podlord!
Oh fuck!
Oh fuck.
Well,
Whoa. Podlords. Yes, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as BN12, Red Blaze 27, Suzushiro, Rado. 101 Shades of Wonderful is on vacation remastered.
nice.
WTF, Spider-Man. Mr. I Like Spam. DFW 3K. Muckbun. Shiny Mew. Visiting real life Umineko places.
Neat.
Oh shit.
Temporarily embarrassed millionaire Juicer Frost. This pigeon I saw downtown stuck in a window.
Free him.
Cooper Tank. Somehow, Hachi has returned.
Yeah.
Dude, it's no mystery.
My favorite tweet about all that was the picture of Raven from 5, and it's like, this is dumbest motherfucker alive.
Indigo Sykes. Miko in her natural habitat.
Oh.
Normal. This podcast brought to you by layawayfursuits.com. Shinji 16 and a very sleepy Lexi would like to remind you that you matter, you are valid, and you deserve to be happy. A raccoon that just refuses to die.
Oof.
God.
Humble Bundle. We are not shutting down Humble Games, though.
Uh-huh.
No one's ever really gone.
That's disgusting. His Ted Lasso mustache.
Something happened to his mustache on the right there. Bob, do you know?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
It could be anything.
Yeah, I don't know anybody with a scar there.
Sarlene. Timothy Pfister.
To save our Mother Earth from any alien attack from vicious giant insects who have once again come back. Did you know EDF6 is a thing?
Yeah, I didn't know it was new, though.
Did you know that people are fucking... I think it's not only new on PC,
Huh.
but everybody's pissed about it because on PC, on Steam, you have to make an Epic Game Store account to play it, and nowhere on the page does it say that.
What? Ugh.
Krungle Spot.
So it's been getting review bombed.
Understandable. Pleochrome.
Can we get 1 week without major layoffs?
No,
The answer's
this is
no.
forever.
You're still in the ambient dream, aggro. Wake up.
I want you to know that because somebody took a shot at Trump the day after, I was worried about that all day.
Jesus.
Glad that
You just keep
GigaBoots.
pinching yourself.
Glad that GigaBoots finally got to the part in Bleach that is the missing link between Cutie Honey and Kill la Kill.
Oh, you... how dare you just say things?
Oh yeah, I forgot her boobs are way more out in the manga.
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh, man.
Took 88.3 hours on Hell Mode, but I'm finally free of Ask Libra. Back to Tits the Third.
Man, I sure wish they'd put Ash Libra on PlayStation so I can turn into Dan and play it for trophies. Also, I need to do that DLC they put out for it someday.
Workplace mention on content. Oh, fuck the Bucklord. Edward Teach.
He does not look well.
Oh yeah, his whole thing is that he's like a weird otaku who yells shit like normies explode.
Oh, that's so good.
Looking forward to the podcast where you watch 60 episodes of Naruto per month.
Yeah,
Go
you
fuck
keep looking
yourself.
forward to that.
Dark Sector 2 features the infested tank from Devil May Cry 2.
Was that... Is that real? Did that just Dark Sector 2 exist, or did they just
I assume there is a thing in Warframe that is Dark Sector too.
Yes.
That is what I assume.
And you got any games on your phone? Thank you very much to our podlords.
Thank you, Podlords. And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits, such as early access to Chugging, Bleach, and Pokemon Go to the movies. You better hurry up on that Pokemon one. You got like one more month before the early access stops being a thing, because there isn't anymore.
Yeah, and then the last episode just gets locked in the vault forever.
Oh
no!
Yeah.
God!
And that,
I wish the episode we just recorded could be locked in the vault forever.
That'd be great. Yeah, I had to watch quite a few things for content this week.
You also get many additional benefits, such as extended armchair devs and gamer premonitions content when we do those shows, which will come back in big ways soon. An entire movie called Isolation 119, where a man tries to get a tax write-off on his vacation to Thailand, and there's some shit about ghosts. He plays League of Legends, which explains why he's deranged. You also fund a patron-funded show one a month, either a public show where we watch a horrible thing and patrons get a commentary track, or a private show where we watch a good thing and then gush about what a good thing. Wow, I love eating cake. That is patreon.com/gbpodcast. And if you don't have any money, it always helps us immensely to spread the word. Post about us on r/gaming until you get banned from Reddit. Spray paint us on walls that you own. Do not commit a crime. Just spray paint like GB Podcast on your wall in your house. You don't have people over that often.
Make sure it's well ventilated, really though. You don't want to
just spray paint it. And then
you don't want to pass out.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
And if you're listening on YouTube, leave a comment and subscribe. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast.
I was trying to remember. I was like, something reminded me of Isolation 119 recently. What was that? And that was the movie Kroll. And you get to hear me say that and explain such an insane assertion if you're a patron in time for that blessed Blontent blub. If you're a Warframe player, honestly, you owe it to yourself to listen to us talk about the movie Kroll. Patreon.com/gbpodcast. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is once again. We have news!
Yay.
Some of it's positive.
Yeah, there's good stuff that happened this week.
Some of it.
Just ignore the rest.
It's okay. I'm going to blow through mine pretty quick. In the last week, the community has discovered that the way the Xbox One and Series consoles accomplish their Xbox original backcompat is they are running an emulator from the 360 for the Xbox original through an emulator for the 360.
Oh my God. Okay.
Incredible. Efficient. It just fucking works. Hilarious. No one would have guessed that. Because, man, that is not a good idea. So, interestingly enough, that means the Xbox original emulation on the Xbox One and Series consoles is not too dissimilar to how the PS4 plays Dracula X Rondo of Blood through the PSP emulator emulating Dracula X Chronicles. Cool. Really brief news story next. The 5000 series GPUs from NVIDIA may not even be announced this year. You may choose now to stop sitting on the edge of your seats. It seems like it is very possible that shit ain't happening.
Jeez. All right.
Aggro is aware of this, as am I. I've already wishlisted it. The page for the PSVR 2 app on PC is already up on Steam. You can wishlist it now. It comes out August 6th.
Woo! It's pretty close, actually.
They have the same pages and shit you go through when you set it up on the PS5. It is literally the same iconography, the same tutorials, everything. And that's crazy. They need to sell us that dongle now.
Yeah.
I am so excited to come to Big Think. God damn it!
I could use I could use my favorite headset in VR chat now. I've been in there 800 hours this month.
The rumors of my time in VR chat have been largely exaggerated because apparently it just kept counting the game as running, even though it was closed. It was closed on my PC. Steam's like, you're still in VR chat. And that's how my number got that high, Bob.
Sure.
No, it happened again, and I realized this. It's guys, there's no way I spent 155 hours in VR chat this year. I mean, I haven't even beaten like a Dragon 8. Come on now. This is ridiculous. What an insane assertion, you guys. But yes, I'm excited to try it in VR chat. They need to sell that adapter soon. I don't even, like, I want the adapter before the app is out. I don't want to be able to install the app and be like, oh, this is a great app to run.
Right.
With my dongle if I had one. So we need to talk about the inevitability we've been calling forever. Chris says, bang the drum on Twitter about this a lot. It was the inevitable future we all hated but saw coming. So they're bundling streaming services together. We got a Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO, sorry, just Max.
Yeah, just Max.
Bundle for $29 a month without ads, 17 with ads. We're just doing cable packages again. It's just happening. This is the norm. It's happening.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's surprised by this at all.
We can't do anything about it. We're just crawling back into the same mud, but with fewer features. Like, you know, being able to watch a thing without thinking or trying. That is a valuable fucking feature, to turn on a television and it has a channel and then you just watch.
I guess you got YouTube TV for that. I think that's what that does.
There's a few streaming services that'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
There should be communal streams on Netflix's front page that's like, we're just streaming this episode of this thing. Jump on in, and then you can tweet. And Twitter could get filled with vague tweets about fucking shows that are randomly streaming instead of a conference. ARM, the company that makes all of those cool CPUs and whatnots for mobile phones and technically the Switch, the NVIDIA GPU, I believe, is an ARM processor. Remember when NVIDIA tried to buy ARM and then the universe said, no. So then they couldn't? Anyway, ARM has invented a temporal AA solution for mobile.
Can we just not?
The baseline technology is FSR2, but it is much improved. They show it off on their page.
Sure.
I am interested to see this in motion, but I fucking hate it. I realized the other day, you know how how the PlayStation 2 has a unique rendering mode that everyone ever made fun of called field rendering mode, where it only renders exactly how many lines it needs. And so that caused aliasing and horrible problems if it drops a single frame. We're living through that again. That's what temporal AA is. It's just a horrible hack in order to get the slightest bit more performance. And it's terrible for image quality. What an era we live in. Let's move on. Gentlemen, as we know, the creator of Deadly Premonition, Sweary, has no idea what Twin Peaks is. But weirdly enough, the man has tweeted out a link about how David Lynch released 2 new videos for the Cellophane Memories. When did he find out about David Lynch?
It was probably just like last week.
Okay. I'm just confused. Maybe when I play Deadly Premonition, I'll be like, he's right. This is nothing like Twin Peaks. Nothing at all.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I am positive that is how this will go. We're going to now move on news-wise to Chris. Do I have to bring out our friend, or can we delay for a bit?
Yes, you have to bring out the friend. Let's just get it over with. Let's just fucking end it.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, buddy?
So, Humble Games has been completely decapitated. It's gone now. This is the publishing arm of Humble Bundle, not Humble Bundle itself.
Mm-hmm.
Ziff Davis, the parent company, said it was just a restructuring, and then every single person who worked for them went on Twitter and said, nuh-uh. They restructured us into a fucking coffin. Basically what happened is Ziff Davis is a brain-dead venture capitalist firm and went, what do you mean when we invest money in gaming where the return isn't instant? Games take time to make? But no time, only money. So then they just cut the entire division.
Sucks so bad.
Apparently they found like some really cheap third party to manage the remaining games that they were publishing that have not come out yet.
Criminals.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Yeah, and Humble Games, they kept finding cool stuff. It's just upsetting that it ends like this.
See, we're unprepared for the rest of my news because I feel like if what is I'm about to talk about becomes a trend, we're gonna need our guest, but like doing the smile at the end.
Okay.
Bethesda has unionized wall to wall.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Right? I'm surprised they were able to get this.
So has the entire World of Warcraft team.
Good.
Baller.
So that's 500 people over at Activision.
Hey, the rest of Activision, get on there, because, oh god, I have some other news stories.
Yeah. Let's just talk about it now.
Sure.
I don't want to talk about it later. Let's just pull it out while our friends here are helping us host the news.
So Activision been using AI in their games already. This is according to a Wired report by Brian Merchant. They were using Midjourney for making concept art and asset generation.
Asset generation shocks me because it still looks so rough most of the time.
Right.
Concept art, I feel like I always kind of was like, I think we even discussed it before, like that's where it'll be, like the stuff at the very beginning that isn't even close to what's final.
Yeah, and it sucks so bad. And there are already skins in Call of Duty that use this, apparently.
Man, I sure hope that this shit doesn't get proven. Like you owe the people that you trained your model on money.
God, we need that so bad and so quickly.
I don't even think we need that because it's come out. OpenAI is not solvent.
Yeah, of course they aren't.
Yeah, no.
These motherfucking things never are.
No.
They spend like they're pulling in like $3 billion a year and spending like $9.
Mm-hmm.
And unless they get some more angel investors in, they will be out of money in less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
And AI this all has that problem where nobody is, because you can go buy access to AI art stuff right now. It's real cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can slap $20 on and generate 5,000 images.
Did anyone else on this podcast? I follow a lot of like rendering engineers and really technical people in the gaming field. Did any of you see the dude who's like, I downloaded the newest version of this neural network like AI thing where you can just ask it a thing and then it does stuff? He downloaded it, but its data set, its instructions were so large they outstripped the 4090's RAM space. So over 24 gigs. It took it 20 hours to type 3 paragraphs.
What?
So he tuned back in after 5 minutes, and all it said, no shit, was the.
Fucking SpongeBob moment. But as I was saying, like, all these AI things are massively underpricing their services right now because
they want to get people
in.
Because
and when they raise their price, everyone will just turn off. Like they think it's like, you're trapped now in my infinite maze where you have to pay me 8 times as much money. It's like, no, I don't.
No.
Like this isn't a walled garden, my guy. These are Post-it notes.
Yeah, like some dude puts a fucking box around you in duct tape on the floor and is like, you're trapped now. You cannot escape. And then you just walk out and they turn to dust and fall off their skeleton.
The trick is what they've already done here. Like Activision's already fired people and they're trying to replace them with people who can use AI is part of their art process.
Yeah, but Activision will just rehire those people when Midjourney's like, pay us 10 times as much.
Yeah, we have to go through this whole loop though.
The thing that pisses
insane.
me off about this AI shit is that you still need you need an artist who's really good at Photoshop and touch up to do this shit anyway. So you're still having to pay an artist. It's just like, we'll use this tool to do the work of 3 people.
Yep. I like to think of it as, you wake up in a room and they're like, ha, I trapped you. And you look on the ground and there's just a trail of salt around you. And they're like, ha, ha, ha. And you step across and they go, you're not a fucking vampire? Oh, shit. I am fucked. Cool news, Bob.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's so great. I'm so glad.
AAA Western Industry doing great as always. Figured out the point of art was to make it yearly and very quickly.
I don't think we have any horrible news left, so our guest can probably go. Probably.
Bro, did you hear him? You can leave now. Like, what do you...
Okay, see ya. You need to like set that up so after he slides off, there's a gunshot.
Oh,
Every week.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He keeps missing.
Right? It's just voice tag missed again.
Missed again.
So Warner Brothers Games has acquired the Multiversus developer Player First Games. If you work at Player First Games, you should maybe not be happy about this. Considering looking at the player counts of Multiversus, its trajectory is worse than the first time right now.
Because they literally made the game worse.
Yeah, I don't know why they acquired them. That seems so weird. It was like,
Like we wanted to make sure when Multiversus died, so did they.
right?
It's just a revenge kill.
I know.
It's like that fucking Simpsons bit where Smithers is in the coffin with Burns.
Yes.
They also added Samurai Jack
Mm-hmm.
and Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice looks real bad. I feel like everybody needs to @ the Multiversus Twitter account with the nice fucking model clip.
I wrote down this news. I didn't even watch the trailer. I just saw the post that had a picture of him.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he looks
In
pretty
the
rough.
Thumbnail.
What?
He
looks
should
really
be
fucking
in
rough.
the
Nice fucking
thumbnail.
model, honk honk.
I am fucking disappointed. I didn't know.
Yeah,
maybe I will correct this in time for fucking YouTube, but
He-
my fucking
He almost
god.
looks like Joaquin Phoenix Joker almost.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
He has a Joaquin Phoenix vibe to him that's very unsettling.
Incorrect.
This is a lot.
I don't know how we got here.
I tell you, there are maybe 2 models since the relaunch that do not look like absolute dog shit. I hate Agent Smith. I hate this. Everything I've seen, I'm just like, why do you look so wrong? I saw Samurai Jack a second ago. He seemed fine.
Yeah, Samurai Jack looked
He
normal.
seemed okay over there.
There's even already an animated version of Beetlejuice you could have used. What is this? This is like a Fortnite skin.
That's insulting to Fortnite.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
That is solid. Metal Gear Solid 4 Solid Snake looks way better than this. This is bad, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I don't want, Bob, we got it. You know, we have to play Multiversus at some point as a stream because it's going to disappear forever.
It is. For sure.
Ugh.
God, going through that story mode. Jesus, that'd be terrible.
They have
So
story mode.
excited. Yeah.
So this is
It's
a very minor
you
thing.
get to talk to the Rain Dog.
They should have removed Rain Dog
They'll never remove Rain Dog.
when
He's
they
so
brought
important.
Rain Dog back. Presumably, you didn't have to buy Rain Dog. I assume Rain Dog was default,
Right.
so nobody could get mad when you took Rain Dog away.
But you can buy skins from Rain Dog.
Damn.
It's over.
So there was a Capcom investor meeting like in the past week or two. A Capcom investor had a brilliant suggestion for Capcom's leadership. You say Monster Hunter Wilds is going to make a bunch of money. Wouldn't you make that money faster if you just released it now?
Because holiday season.
Yeah. It's just that easy.
Actually, you know, everyone's been shit talking this all over Twitter. I'm tired of that. I think he's right. Chris, we should do next week's Big Think right now.
I mean, he's not wrong. We can just get an AI to do a functionally infinite number of big things at the same time,
Right?
and just make infinite money.
Are we
Bob,
gonna
you're
have
fired.
are we gonna have to set up like an always online PC and do like Big Think Forever, like that Seinfeld thing?
That actually would be really funny to do. We just feed every big thing script into it.
Oh my god.
So
I feel like at this point, companies need like a C-suite level executive whose only job is to attend shareholder meetings and decide you don't get to vote anymore.
Yeah.
they do all these stock buybacks now. They should be like all stock agreements should be like they can forcibly buy them back from you. And if you ask too stupid a question at a meeting, it's like, no, you're out.
Yeah, I think it's funny how many times it seems like these come up. Capcom specifically gets insanely stupid questions, and they're already really good about dancing around it.
Yeah, they are. They are really good at that. Chat, funny joke. You're slightly off. The AI will make Bob say the slur. That gets the channel taken down. Because, of course, it would miss the point that hardcore. It's like, this dude doesn't even curse normally. What the fuck are you thinking? They're like, I don't know. I thought he was going to snap. Thank you.
So
We shouldn't have put he was a Twitch streamer in the fucking AI. We should have told him.
So, what would you say the core defining feature of Overwatch 2 is? That's actually in the game, not that they canceled like the single player mode and skill trees and cutscenes and all this.
So
other
what
shit.
differentiates it from Overwatch 1?
Yep.
Probably the 5v5.
Probably that.
They're experimenting with 6v6 explicitly. Like, if this goes well, we're going back to 6v6.
Good.
Yeah.
They're right to do. It was idiotic to change it to 5. I don't care what the sweaties think. Fuck the sweaties. I don't give one shit.
Yeah, I saw no improvements from it being 5v5. Like, what was the point?
I felt a lack of a team there because it was 5v5.
Yes, it does just make it so you have to have an odd number of characters, like types.
Like, I'm already playing Russian roulette and hoping none of the 6 other chambers have a bullet in it, and you're telling me my odds are better if I have only 5 people on my team? No, that makes the impact of one bad actor that much stronger, you fucking idiots. There's now 1/5 of the team is a try-hard Sombra.
Yeah,
Good job.
I like that we were both going for Sombra.
We're both just fucking hitting Sombra.
The other big change is they switched out from loot boxes to a battle pass, and it seems like everybody fucking hates that too. They're like, fucking bring back the loot boxes.
Yeah.
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 Heck, I would. If it let me get loot boxes the same way Genshin did, I would be more happy with it.
Yeah.
Because that was like, okay, I pay like $5 a month and I get extra currency for loot boxes. And that felt better than anything Overwatch ever did.
Yeah, I mean, Overwatch does the, you casually just get loot boxes as you play rounds and stuff, and it works
Right.
pretty well, depending on what you do. And it also incentivizes you going to different modes, like giving you a loot box for trying the special mode of the week.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So I honestly didn't think it was that bad. The Battle Pass honestly lost me instantly. I have no fucking interest.
It is just too much. Like, you earn everything so slow, and there's a set order to it, so you know that you have to play 50-some like levels to get the thing you want.
Yeah, and
there's no thought of you might get that early.
Shit like that is like if you're on a first date with someone and they're like, "Hey, so marriage is important to me,"
Right?
and you're like,
"What's your 10-year plan?"
What's your 10-year plan? For my dick? Man, I never thought about my penis like an investment opportunity before. One moment. Let's keep going with the news.
So SAG-AFTRA is calling for a strike against the gaming industry. They have been negotiating for almost 2 years.
I've been calling for a strike against the gaming industry for years, but nobody covers me.
Yeah, that's because you keep calling the Air Force, and they don't do that.
Are you
on Walk-In?
Are you fucking Fran Drescher?
Why do I pay
you
my
fucking
taxes
Fran
that
Drescher?
aggro? No.
Did you know that Fran Drescher is like the vice head of SAG-AFTRA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a cool lady.
Why? That's awesome. The thought of some dude at Bethesda's just having to receive
Just
calls
getting yelled
from
at.
Fran Drescher.
brand
That's
treasure.
good shit.
That's really good shit.
The 10 companies facing the strike are Activision Productions, Blind Light LLC, their production company that assists other companies. They worked on
Right.
Starfield, Redfall, Destiny,
Yeah.
bunch of shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Disney Character Voices Incorporated, no fucking prize for guessing what they work on. Electronic Arts, so EA, Epic Games, Formosa Interactive LLC. They work on tons of stuff like Suicide Squad, Helldivers 2, Callisto Protocol, Horizon, God of War, bunch of stuff. Insomniac, Take-Two, Voicework Productions, which seem to just handle licensed games. Like their credits list is all like Nick All-Stars Battle 2, this fucking Cartoon Network shit, and WB Games Incorporated. It is explicitly over AI. And of course, the representative for the companies is like, we had agreements on every point but one, the one that mattered, and they walked away. This is so. This is confirmed to be affecting GTA 6. I bet Take-Two's shitting their pants a little bit. Their $1.5 billion game might have to be delayed months.
Get them.
Yeah.
Out missing an entire holiday season.
Yes.
Man, fucking Insomniac's supposed to be shipping a Spider-Man game in a year.
Uh-huh.
They're supposed to be shipping that fucking Venom game. Ruh-roh.
Delicious.
Hey, I wonder if there's a gigantic game franchise that Microsoft owns now that has to ship every single fucking year.
Well, at least
Oh
it's
dear,
not,
oh me.
Oh, it is on that list. Oh no. Oh.
Oh me, oh my. Man, I hope fucking Dragon Age is done.
Hey, you notice something about this list, and I there's a categorical reason this is such, but I will note none of that has shit to do with Nintendo, who's launching the Switch 2 next year, and that Sony and Microsoft own studios that are getting the shit beaten out of them by this list.
Mm-hmm.
You think that might be important to resolve quickly?
Look, we're gonna go back to like getting people out of the office to voice these characters.
Yeah,
the new villain of Black Ops 7. This dude,
right?
That's that good shit.
I don't know. I mean, the guy for God of War 2018 Ragnarok was pretty good, but I like that new guy. Colin, was it? I think his last name was From Accounting. I think that guy was great as Kratos.
Just imagine just like some 5'10" schlubby accountant is now Kratos.
This has got to be the stupidest fucking thing a series of companies are brinking up to tanking an industry over.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is among them, if nothing else.
I just keep thinking of that fucking Simpsons episode where Homer gets his hand caught in a vending machine. The guy's like,
Homer, are you still holding on to the cans?
Yeah, like, just let it go, you dumb piece of shit.
Yeah, you. This cannot possibly work out for you. No, it is over.
Standing on a train track, screaming, looking for sympathy. Like, bro, you're not stuck. Just step off.
No, and it's really important to win this battle because for the next year, it will be really cheap to use this AI. And then we'll stop using it when it gets expensive. It's worth derailing an entire year of games.
You don't understand. It's not illegal yet. You have to let us have contracts that say we can do it forever.
Please, I never want to have to hire this man again.
This is a fucking nightmare.
And finally, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered branding has been seen on merchandise at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, boy.
It's time.
It finally.
The Legacy
Yeah, I'm
of
excited.
Kain
I've never
month.
played those games. I'm
Yeah,
really
me
excited
either.
to play them.
The Heart of Darkness.
Get a guy.
I can be like, man,
No, he's right.
you know, I
He's
feel
right.
so fucking bad for Amy Hennig. Like, nobody's shelling out for anything but licensed slop now, and she can't have her true dream making game after game about weird fallen angels and time loops.
Yeah, I want her to make that. That's what I want. I want vampires, like angels who have fallen, cool shit, melodrama, romance. Bring sexy video games back and not just like sticking a large titted woman in it. No, like this the romance. You need to have like some larger stakes, some epic stakes. Yeah.
That should be Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, but instead that game's going to be totally flaccid and suck and be completely forgotten the second it comes out. Which it's still supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, I knew it was supposed to come out this year. Part of me got worried maybe it came out.
Fair. It could have just launched and none of us would know.
No, I'm busy. I'm busy with Like a Dragon 8 and the movie After Hours.
But that is all my news.
We go to Bob's news, sans the one thing we had to cover in the industry is burning down segment.
Yeah. So, oh man, I do not know how to say this French name.
David Soliani?
Yeah.
Sure.
Creative director of Ubisoft Milan, who did Mario and the Rabbids, Spark of Hope, and the first one. He's leaving Ubisoft.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's all on positive terms, and he's just moving on to something else. But I guess we should not expect more Mario X Rabbids. Not that felt like was going to happen anyway.
All right.
Not sure how that last one went.
Dude's gonna end up in Nintendo somehow.
That'd be pretty neat.
It would be great.
Heck, man, I bet he could make a really compelling game if it didn't have to involve Rabbids.
What a statement.
So, spiritual successor to Chibi Robo, Ko-Robo, was announced for consoles and PCs.
Whoa!
They opened up a Kickstarter and a Campfire, which is like a Japanese Kickstarter-like website.
Okay.
That does involve people who worked on Chibi Robo. The Kickstarter's goal is for $128,000, 984
dollars.
Yeah, dollars. And the Campfire was for 5 million yen.
Like $20?
Something like that. Yeah. I didn't do the conversion myself, but it's not too much.
I mean, that sounds close.
So that's neat. It's if you look at the Kickstarter, it is just Chibi Robo.
It is straight up Chibi Robo.
Absolutely,
it's
100%.
Just Chibi Robo.
Another spiritual successor to NBA Street, The Run Got Next was announced.
The Run, got next. What a title.
I know.
That is 3 titles.
It is. It's going to be PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. It's worked on by some staff from actual original NBA jams, like the artist from all 3 games.
You said original NBA jams.
Sorry, I'm NBA Street.
Okay.
NBA Streets.
Okay, very different.
Yes, very different. It's 3v3 basketball. It's got roguelike elements, though, so it's really scary. I don't think there's way less positive vibe. It has a cool art style, which they got the artist back.
Good.
Pretty neat. I want this to be good, but I'm worried.
Yeah, understandable. We already covered.
Yeah, we already covered that.
Jack and Beetlejuice.
A new Indie Creates game got announced. Weirdly enough, they showed this off months ago. It's called Dynamo Flame Frit.
You skipped the first word. It's Divine
Dynamo Flame Frit.
Like Ifrit, but we put flam before it, and now it's Flame Frit.
But it's going to be on pretty much all modern consoles and PC. They teased this as a pack-in for a physical version of Card and Seal, another game that Indie Creates is making a few months back. But now they're just confirming, no, that's a game we're releasing separately. You can buy that. And that's going to be out in winter.
Kind of looks neat.
Yeah, it's got like
This looks really neat.
Top-down Zelda sort of look to it, and then it goes into Goemon, like, giant robot battles.
Cool.
So, yeah, I definitely want to try this out.
This is going to be our favorite Inti Creates game.
Until you play the Blaster Master ones.
Those do look good.
I don't know if I ever finished the first one.
First one's the weakest one because it's kind of just a remake of
the original, which made me sad.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping it was more exciting than that.
2 and 3 are much more interesting. 3 especially. 3 starts having like really great bosses with patterns that you have to learn really well.
Opens box labeled Blaster Master 0 is in fact Blaster Master 1.
Yeah. Mighty Raya, I think is how you say this. It was announced for PC. It's the next game from the people who made Assault Spy, which is a small indie game on Steam that I liked. It's a weird thing where you play as a like anime-inspired spy character, and it's got like knockoff DMC combat. It was kind of neat. It came out several years ago now, and this is their next game. You play as a high school girl / superhero / streamer who fights
Cancels
monsters.
people.
Yes, you would think with that list of traits.
Yeah, no.
But no, she fights monsters in some big city, but it's not. It is still level based like a regular game. It's not like an open world thing.
And that's Maitreya. So the word might and REYA. Might.
All one word.
Mm-hmm.
So they announced a while ago that new Gundam Requiem for Vengeance Netflix show. Apparently, when that show launches, we're going to get a Fortnite video game.
What?
Where you can play it's like multiplayer team deathmatch with the Gundam units in Fortnite.
Uh-huh.
That's that show premieres August or October 17th. They say this game will be up shortly after.
Can they do a version of this that like isn't attached to a show that's probably going to be Cheeks?
No. I believe the show was also made in UE5, and then this game is made using UE Fortnite.
Okay. So Unreal Engine for Fortnite?
Yeah.
The UEFN thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That contextualizes this to any extent that makes it make sense to me. Okay.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Okay.
But that's what's happening.
Okay.
Get excited for a Gundam game that probably won't exist after 2 months.
It's basically a Little Big Planet level.
Yes.
It's basically a Dreams thing.
And then we also got some news about the PlayStation China Hero stuff. So this is a project where PlayStation funds various Chinese games.
Okay.
We found out they're going to be funding Unending Dawn.
Okay.
Which is a like anime-inspired looking thing that seems to play like Sekiro. They also showed off Project Jinwei, which is an ancient Chinese, like realistic looking thing that looks like it plays like Sekiro. And then Lao Lane, which is a single player action adventure game we'll find out more about on July 28th. I don't know if it plays like Sekiro.
Right,
they didn't show any footage.
We're just delaying telling us that it's like Sekiro.
Guys, just play FromSoft. They will make you another one. Please.
No, we're not going to pay them. We're not going to. Why would we want Bloodborne 2?
I don't know.
Why would we want to make another Bloodborne?
And that's all my news.
Okay, cool. Well, that brings us to the Evo news.
Ooh.
Who wrote this down?
I did.
Okay. Well, would you like to run us through it?
Sure.
That way I can be surprised because I barely looked at it. I looked at it enough to decide that person should be in our fucking thumbnail.
She is important. First up, the SNK news. They let off this whole set. SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos is out. You can go buy that digitally.
That's awesome.
It's on PC, PS4, and Switch. I don't think anything's missing there, right?
Nope.
We again had the news cycle. Why isn't it on Xbox? It's like, why do you think? Ain't nobody buying this game already. 0 people will buy it on Xbox. -5.
Somehow they will lose sales.
Right.
On Xbox.
Yeah, people keep finding all these fucking reasons why things aren't coming to Xbox other than the obvious, like, guys, unless it has the broadest appeal possible, nobody on Xbox is buying it.
It's funny because
anybody who wants those kind of games has a platform other than Xbox already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny because I said, listen to the podcaster who's like, it can't be that hard to make a different version of the game for Xbox. And I'm like, why does he keep saying that? He's been covering the fucking industry for 27 years or some shit. No longer, 30. How the fuck can you cover it that long and still go, just spin up an Xbox version?
Yeah,
How hard
it's
is
the
it?
Xbox button. It's like the freaking PC export button.
Just right click and save as an Xbox game.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it.
Guys, it's not complicated. There aren't sales there.
None.
That's it. I'm thrilled this is out. I'm thrilled this has rollback. I'm thrilled people could buy it and try it because this was a really weird fighting game that I think more people should be aware of.
Yeah, I like it, but it's It's mainly for the art. It's really neat to see the SNK style pixel art on all of these Street Fighter characters
like Akuma
and Mega Man 00.
Yes.
And all the actor characters are unlocked from the get-go.
Does it feel weird to you that SVC Chaos came back before we ever saw like any port of Onimusha Blade Warriors?
That is a little weird, but at the same time, it's SNK.
They both seemed equally impossible at some point in time to me. But
it is also weird that this came out before Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's still not back for some reason.
Capcom.
Yeah, Capcom needs to
doing?
Like at least Capcom's been saying, yeah, we want to get everything back pretty much. So hopefully that comes up. Hopefully, but Blade Warriors comes back too. You're better than any other Smash knockoff.
It's so true. The next closest is what? Stadium DON?
Oh my god.
Or that Hudson Soft one that has fucking Optimus Prime and Simon Belmont?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Those are the next two closest good Smash clones. That's how desperate we are out here. Yeah, Dream Mix TV World Fighters. Thank you, Mr. Z, for the name on the Hudson Soft one. I own it. Cannot remember the name.
Yeah, what a crazy thing that was.
Yeah,
man.
It's got everyone you want. Bomberman, Simon Belmont, Optimus Prime.
Remember when they just made these knockoff Smash games and they were passable instead of garbage?
Yeah, I'm just gonna point out that that's because the Japanese were making it then, and now they're all made by indies or Western. Actually, they're all made by indies. I guess the Nick All Stars maybe the only one that wasn't indie tier, but I mean technically, you have the backing of Warner Brothers. You shouldn't be considered an indie, but it still is a small first-time studio.
It is. And technically, that the Nicola one is also, it's an indie studio that's being paid by, like.
So it really is just small studios keep making this instead of like a company that makes games like a fucking factory with any level of quality going, we can just crap out one of these.
Right. They're working on a new Art of Fighting game, which, what? Excuse me?
Yeah, Art of Fighting. Everyone loves Art of Fighting. I have a conversation with fighting game fans about Art of Fighting every week.
I mean, sure. Why not? Go for it, man. You've been doing a new Fatal Fury. Why not also bring this back? In a Samurai Showdown action RPG, which I'm hyped for.
I'm so fucking excited for that because I fuck with the vibes of Samurai Showdown so hard, but then it wants me to play it. And like that was cool when it was in arcades and the sprites were huge and the speed of it and the scale of it were novel and interesting and impressive. And now it's just the game looks like ass kind of. So I'm so excited. That sounds fucking awesome, dude.
I have no way to confirm this, but I assume it will play like Sekiro.
Unconfirmed, but sources known as my brain.
Didn't they make a turn-based Sam Show RPG once? It might be something. It might be something that's way more RPG shaped.
I'm trying to remember if there was
I think it's like on the Saturn.
Yeah, I think that there was something like that before,
like
but
it's a turn-based strategy game or something.
Where they explicitly said action RPG. I expect something way more like action-oriented.
Like Sekiro.
I don't know, a lot of things can be considered an action RPG. I expect this to be like some compile heart tier Kusoge.
Jesus.
But they're both in early development and looking for people to hire to work on them. So we don't expect to see on either of those anytime soon.
Before the heat death of the universe.
They announced a new character for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Well, returning character, rather. Kevin Rain. He's a SWAT team cop and probably shouldn't have come back.
Ryan or Rain? Because what's written here is R-I-A-N?
It's written like that, and I can't remember how they said it. It might be Ryan. It might... Ryan, I don't know.
I forgot this dude exists.
I know, right?
I don't know this dude. One sec.
He's in the first Garo.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's in the first
got a winning smile.
Have they confirmed Blue Mary for this fucking game yet?
No, I don't think so. She wasn't in Garo. I know that
she better fucking be in this one.
Yeah, she's very much a Fatal Fury character, so it'd be real weird if they didn't.
The winning smile.
Yeah, his smile doesn't look nearly as good in the new version. Unfortunately.
Jesus Christ.
I'm still pretty hyped for this game. I don't really know why, but I like just looking at it. I'm like, well, this doesn't seem like it's super hype. But for some reason, I'm so excited just to play something that is going to be almost exactly like a fighting game from the 90s in terms of like structure and content.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm also pretty excited. It's cool that basically the first one they're doing a dub for too.
Yeah, that whips.
Yeah, it helps not having 75 characters for that.
Yeah. King of Fire 15, they announced 2 DLC characters, Mature and Vice. They're coming in December.
This means they also were like, that means all 8 heads of Orochi are in KOF 15 now.
These women have died so many times. This might be more than Heihachi.
Yeah, except Heihachi never actually dies because he's just a human. They're weird ghosts.
I don't know if we're going with their ghosts currently or if they're zombies. I don't know what's happening.
The Orochi's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just Googling their names, and all of the art that's coming up is very powerful. So I think they've done a good move by putting these 2 in.
No, they're important for sure. Under Night Inverse showed off a new character. Sorry, Under Night Inverse 2 Syceleste.
Sorry. This title sucks. Anyways,
It's so bad.
let's go. What did
her name's Uzuki. She's a necromancer. She's got a big hat and summons skeletons and bats and stuff. And she can turn into a puddle on the floor with her hat.
Amazing.
And has
She's
a
pretty
big coffin.
Soul Eater core.
Yeah, she kind of is. I can see that. She does seem to be a sicko.
She has some real Krona energy in some of her expressions.
Let me just throw this out there. She's got a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game, Under Night's real cool. I really enjoy Under Night. How much do they, generally speaking, sell these DLC characters for?
I don't remember. I didn't see that on there. I think you buy the whole season pass and it's not that much, but I cannot remember. Also, they didn't. Most of these games are on sale for EVO weekend. This one wasn't, so I didn't pick this one up. But
Okay.
I didn't. I think it came. They might be holding out a little bit because didn't it come out like in January?
Yeah, but so did Tekken and Granblue versus Rising.
I guess that's true.
So it's just weird. That
Well,
they're
actually,
splitting
no.
off.
Granblue was December, I think, because it was
Oh,
relevant
and
to last year's game of the year.
If we want to,
Yeah.
if we want to be really pedantic, it's an updated port of it's a revision of a existing game.
Yeah, but as I've been informed by every human on Earth since the other one didn't have rollback, it didn't exist, and this one does, so I should have bought it again.
Which is the
That
exact
sucks
same
so
situation
bad.
that this is.
Right? It sucks so bad for people who wanted to buy the game.
People are
and play with
insisting that it is on sale right now.
Oh yeah,
Maybe on Steam or something.
yeah,
it wasn't
maybe
on
it's
PlayStation.
not on PlayStation. But they're saying $25, which hey,
Yeah,
and
fine.
Under Night in Birth 2 season pass, it was only $10.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's a lot better than Tekken Season Pass, which is more expensive than buying the characters separately. They are idiotic. They're like, buy the deluxe edition upgrade, $40. Get all the stuff you don't want in the characters. You can get the characters individually all together for $32.
Okay. All right.
So dumb.
4D chess over here. Anyway.
Granblue Fantasy versus Rising got a huge set of updates. There's on the 20th of August, we're going to see version 1.5. It gets you new story episodes, a new stage, balance adjustments, new lobby mini game, a new Granblue's game mode. That's their weird Fall Guys thing.
Great.
And then various characters. We're getting Versia, who's
Verusia. Actually, this says Versusia. There's an S after the R. A demon girl with 4 arms. Nice.
She's very tall.
She looks cool as shit. I'm looking at this. This looks great.
Yeah, she's actually hits August 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vikala, the mouse girl that's in the thumbnail, right over there. She comes out in October. And then for Character Pass Season 2 got announced, which is going to have Sandalphon, who showed up. He's currently in Granblue. Relink is one of the characters added super late to that.
Yeah.
So I guess this guy's important.
I know someone who's going to be excited about Sandalphon or whatever being here. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we don't know when that's coming, but he's on the way, and there was a whole new set of characters.
Damn it. Damn it.
Yeah, no, these are some cool characters.
Now I have to buy it.
Guilty Gear Strive also got a big set of updates. Online 3v3 battles were announced.
Okay.
That's in beta right now. You can go try it out.
Cool.
It's actually 3 real people against 3 real people, and I think you'd like tag out.
Okay.
That's interesting. I'm curious to see how that works.
Didn't they add something like that to Dragon Ball Fighters in the last update, and it broke the fuck out of the game with that update?
Yeah, I think so.
I assume they fixed that at some point.
I have no idea. There'll be new stages, and then they announced the whole set of new characters for the next pass. I think that's how this works. It's all these trailers are really bad at introducing how you pay for these things. So we're getting Queen Dizzy. She's like the queen of that kingdom, so I guess she has to put a shirt on now. Venom.
Woo!
Yeah, it's so weird that Venom wasn't in here yet.
Yeah.
He also put a shirt on. What the heck?
I'm seeing abs. Or a weird vest. One moment.
Yeah, he's got his like
Strive Venom.
Yeah, they put out just concept art. They didn't put out actual in-game, fully developed concept art. It's very early, like sketches.
It looks like they're maybe going for like a little bit more of like a pool hustler thing and giving him a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he won't have it by the time he actually comes out.
Yeah, huh.
And then a new character called Unica?
Yeah,
Looks
they're
cool.
the protagonists of that anime.
What?
Yeah, they're from that anime. They were already revealed in that anime. And people were like, oh, I bet they're going to put her in Strive, and they did.
Huh.
Cool. This is a good design.
Yeah, it looks neat. And then their guest character, the first guest character for the game. Lucy Edge Runners.
That's
Yeah,
bizarre,
she's the main character of that anime.
honestly.
Incorrect choice. Absolutely incorrect.
That is genuinely strange. Like it's so weird and out of left field. I also, to be perfectly frank, like whatever crossover characters are fun. It just has a bad taste in the mouth that we're getting these, that every franchise has to have them now when they're also dropping season passes to 4 a year instead of 6.
Yeah, that does hurt.
I just wanted Rebecca because
Yeah,
her
no,
moveset is fucking cool.
If we don't need another person with a gun in Guilty Gear Strive unless it's Rebecca.
Unless it's Rebecca. I mean, she might be the most Noelle Vermillion of them all.
Did Lucy have the nano wire shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. That's probably better from a gameplay angle.
I don't give a fuck. I want someone who plays like Noelle Vermillion and also is Rebecca Edgerunner.
I don't think she would play like Noelle Vermillion, Dan.
She might play like Noelle Vermillion, but with the fucking Cerebella punch. And that would be good.
We got to see a teaser trailer for Terry Bogard in Street Fighter 6.
He looks so beautiful.
He does. He just looks great.
Look at him up there.
He's so good.
He looks like if you took a Tekken 3 ending and made it super HD.
You told an AI to make it for real.
Like they hired that man.
God.
It's weird.
Neat. It's weird.
It's
neat.
weird.
Yeah. And of course, the big show closer, Heihachi Mishima, is in fact not dead. He's going to be out in autumn.
What a dumbass.
Yeah.
Raven is so wrong.
I don't know. Like, there's some weird, like, people getting upset over this. It's like, you saw Heihachi died? That seems unlikely.
I understand being annoyed that he seems to not be dead in the story. Like, I feel like they should have had it. Like, you can put him in so people can play him. Like, MKX did that. There's all kinds of characters in MKX that you can pick that are dead or just not present in that game story mode at all. but I feel like you should have let Heihachi not be present in the story for one game.
No, he's going to be in the story of that season pass expansion story. So we need him back
like
now.
the trailer makes it very clear, but they should have just like not done that yet, and now people are drawing poor Reina working at Chipotle because her entire point as character is gone.
And the worst part is mild spoilers for Tekken 8 story. I will hit the song right. Oh, that's the. Apparently, we have to talk about Justice League now because I hit the wrong button.
No, I hate that button.
She really does not accomplish her goals. She does not fill a frame by the end of that game. They notionally that game is
her
about
up
that.
for the next game. Like that's
Right,
what it feels like.
You need to do
Right.
that before you bring back Heihachi. What the fuck?
I don't know.
They're gonna fucking get ADD and forget about her ass before they fucking try to facilitate it properly.
Absolutely.
Li Xiaolon's gonna be the important character for one of these games
That's
before
not going
Rain.
to happen.
I was literally about to say they just team her up with Li Xiaolon and they go for the tag titles.
My God.
Anyways, that's
The iconography of him just climbing out of the volcano is great, though.
yeah. No, of course.
It's like it
Somehow.
seems to have made him stronger.
Well, yeah, it galvanized him. He is the king of Iron Fist, so it makes sense.
It just makes
actually.
sense.
It's just science.
Somehow the volcano also made him young again.
It exfoliates.
Yeah, it's like a hot spring. This all checks out.
Deep tissue.
Anyways, that's it for news. I thought the fucking Granblue characters all looked really cool. And the
Yeah.
Stripe ones look neat too.
I'm excited to see what they actually look like in game. So it's just super early concept art. I'm kind of surprised they went that way with it, and didn't even at least have like well done, like fully done sketches for all of them, like fully put out.
Right.
But other than that, it is cool to see like Disney back and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's going to do it for this episode of Big Think Dimension. Please follow us over on twitch.tv/GigaBoots tomorrow for the Beyond Good and Evil Death stream. For people who don't know, Bob and I never played that game outside of that demo. And when we are told that is a Zelda game, we both go, how?
Right.
Based on the demo we played. So we're very excited to find out what the hell that's all about tomorrow with Beyond Good and Evil. That's going to do it for this episode. A Big Think Dimension.
Just scared something's going to get announced.
It happens every.
I know, right?
We're gonna hit the outro button. The second I hit the outro button, Bob, they're gonna be like, Jim Ryan has been shot at. I'll be like, oh my God. We're going. Goodbye. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. Big Think Dimension is possible because of you and your support over at patreon.com/GBpodcast, where you can get access to extra gamer premonitions, extra armchair devs behind the scenes, the movie Isolation 119, early access to Chugging Bleach and Pokemon Go to the movies. That is patreon.com/GBpodcast.